All right, first and foremost, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Brother Chief Priest Alazar Ben Lawyer here with advanced hatred for the white man.
That's right.
Class, another Friday night class, as we always do, through the spirit and power and by the grace and mercy of Abba Nabi Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. Glad y'all can be here. As y'all know, we kicking off this this canceled Christmas campaign for the weekend. We're gonna have class today, most of one tomorrow, and then of course we're going out to the streets on Sunday this week to spiritually combat this satanic Christmas vibration that of course is being propagated and pushed out by this devil throughout the earth. So we're gonna deal with all of that for this weekend. Just share this onto YouTube real quick. I mean Facebook real quick. Share this to Facebook. All right. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it through the spirit. Kind of just gonna keep building on the topic we left off with, or one of the topics I taught on Tuesday in the spirit, which is the building up of righteous and holy and valiant men. So if we could, give me Proverbs 11 to 29. All right. We dealt with some of the fundamental scriptures last Friday. We dealt with within oneself and in one's own mind on Tuesday. So we're going to continue with the next step, which is, of course, within your household. I'll be to be righteous and holy in your household as prescribed by the Bible. So give me that in Proverbs 11 to 29.
Bro, out the center.
Not that one.
It's a long one that's plugged in.
Okay, I'll get graphics out of you. Put that one out.
Yeah, put on. Book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 29. He that troubleth his own house.
He that what?
Troubleth his own house.
He that troubleth his own house, read.
Shall inherit the wind.
Shall inherit the wind. And this is something that we have to keep in mind in our brother dealing with his house. You have your house. What is your house? That is your wife. That is your children. That is your house, or your wives and your children, right? That's your house. Bringing trouble into that situation is destroying that situation. You are the glue that holds your house, aka your family, together. It's you. You understand what I'm saying? So I mean, because that's when you're a what? What is a man? Bayan recall. What is a man?
A man is a provider, a protector.
Give me a title.
Father.
Father. Boom. Father. Ba in the Hebrew. Symbolizing power. The head of a ram. Ba symbolizing house. You are the power of your house. You are the God of your house. So it is up to you to rule and treat that house properly and not trouble your house. Do not bring unnecessary BS into your home. All right? That's the first thing a brother needs to learn how to stop doing. Is bringing unnecessary BS into his home. And again, his home is his wives and children. That's his home, right? So read.
It says, and the fool shall be servant to the wise of heart.
That's right. So we have to deal with wisdom. Okay? Paul told us to deal with our wives according to knowledge. We got to deal with knowledge. We got to deal with wisdom. We got to deal with understanding. We cannot be troubling our homes. All right? You're supposed to be guiding your house, not troubling your house. The white man brings enough trouble into your goddamn house for you to then also do. Right? That's it on that? That's it on that?
Yes.
Let's get Sirach 4 and 30. White man trying to destroy your goddamn house, man. White man is your enemy. The white man is your child's enemy. The white man is your wife's enemy. Right? So don't do as the enemy. All right? Build your house. Stack those blocks. Build a strong bond. Read on.
This book of Sirach, chapter 4, verse 30. Be not as a lion in thy house.
Be not what?
As a lion in thy house.
Be not as a lion in thy house. Right? You walk in the damn door. You're screaming on every damn body. You're breaking things up in the house. Don't be that way. Right? Nobody wants a goddamn lion in their house. Nobody's going to respond properly to a lion in their house. Any brother that's just walking around being a lion in his house is dealing with the spirit of imbalance. Bayan. Yes.
And what was that?
4 and 30. Any brother doing that is dealing with a spirit of imbalance. You know when to turn it on and when to turn it off. That's what you're supposed to know how to do. If you don't know how to do that, you're going to destroy your house. You're troubling your own house. So get on yourself in regards to that, right? That's it on that?
No.
Go ahead.
It says, nor frantic among thy servants.
Nor frantic among thy servants, man. Brothers being too angry and too hostile all the damn time. In their house. That's off. Cease from that. Go back to Proverbs from me. That's it on that. Go back to Proverbs 15:27, the God on the one.
Can I ask what that was in scripture?
Sirach 4:30. Proverbs 15:27. These are very valuable scriptures brothers need to focus and meditate upon, because we all can get carried away sometimes and become this way in our homes. You see, amongst our children, amongst our women, etc., right? Read on.
Book of Sirach, chapter 15, verse 27. He that is greedy of gain.
He that is what?
Greedy of gain.
Greedy of gain. Read.
Troubleth his house.
You see that when you're greedy of gain, you also are troubling your house. So when it says thou shalt not trouble thine house, and it's telling you one of the ways you trouble your house is through greed and gain, right? If you work too much, right? What's going to happen? You always working. You're always doing this. You're always doing that. Trouble, tension, turmoil is being heaped into your home because of your greed and gain. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
It says, but he that hateth gifts shall live.
He that hateth gifts also shall live. So that's, it's kind of two proverbs in one there. You see what I'm saying? But the hating of gifts and greed and things of that nature is what in part will help build your home as opposed to troubling it. You see, one cancels out the other. So hate gifts and hate greed, and your house will be built and constructed properly, right?
Well, we know the scriptures speak about, gifts destroying the heart.
That's right.
Not always, but again, when going with gain, and that's pretty much what the gifts is. The gift that destroys the heart is the unprofitable gain. That filthy lucre. The scriptures speak about.
That's right. Let's get Ephesians 5:25-31. Okay, this is what we got to start thinking about in dealing with homes. In being righteous men, holy men, valiant men, men of the Most High. This is what he's put in the Bible for us to operate at. So yeah, 5:25-31.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse 25. Husbands,
now, right? Read.
Love your wives.
Love your wives. This is something we must do. Love our wives. It's in the Bible. Read.
Even as Christ also loved the church.
You have to love your wife as Yahweh Shai loved the elect, loved the church, loves those that was given to him. This is the type of the amount of love that you have to have for your wife. If you don't have that type of love for your wife, you are in error. All right, read.
It says, not having spot or wrinkle. It says, and gave himself for it.
Yahweh Shai gave himself for the church. Right? Died for the church. This is the same thing you must be willing to do for your wife, according to the Bible. Read.
That he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water.
So he died for our sanctification. So you have to be ready to die for your wife, but also sanctify your wife. Okay? Clean your wife as best as you can. Even if you're dealing with an unbelieving wife, which is in the Bible, you can deal with an unbelieving wife, but you still have to be working towards sanctifying that sister. Read.
That's right. It says, and cleansing it with the washing of water by the word.
Cleansing it with the washing of water by the word. Feeding the word into your home. Read on.
If I could add,
Go
like
ahead,
the brother said, when you're dealing with an unbelieving woman, you have to present yourself as that example. As the brother spoke about last week, 1 Thessalonians 4:4, knowing how to possess your own vessel. So if you see that, an unbelieving wife, to a certain extent, will then start to understand, how things is operating, how things is dealing. And to, like I said, a certain extent, she'll catch on, whether she'll remain being wicked or being, prideful is on her, or, how the Most High will deal with her. But you'll see that they'll get in line, with the diet. They'll get in line with, starting to respect themselves more and start to honor their own vessel when they see how you honor yours. So, I mean, it just kind of goes hand in hand when you are leading by an example. Verse 27, that he might present to himself as a glorious church.
You see that as a glorious church. What's a name for the glorious church? What is the glorious church to Yahweh Shai? You said what? That's the answer, but I'm looking for something else. Hakai.
The bride.
The bride. Hold that. Give me Psalms 45. Give me Psalms the 45th chapter. Somebody, Bayan, could you get my sword from up off of there? The water.
Psalms 45.
Psalms the 45th chapter. Briefly. Yeah, just, you know, you good. The water, King. Let me take a look.
I think you start at verse 7.
7, 9. Before, can I start before 7? I'm thinking
You can read really the whole chapter.
the whole thing is good. Let me take one look at it here. 45.
You start around 9.
9. Because we know what that 7 is. Okay. Right here, verse 9. Yeah, started the 9th verse. Psalms 45.
Psalms 45 and 9.
Uh-huh.
King's daughters were among thy honorable women.
Read on.
Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir.
Did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. What's that talking about? Did stand the queen in gold of Ophir. Who's the queen? Are there queens in Israel? Who knows the answer? No, but it says it's queen. So who's the queen?
The Lord likens Israel unto a woman, so you feel me? The Lord is the king, you feel me? The Most High, his queen will be Israel.
Perfect. Let's go start at verse 1. Right, go ahead.
It says, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
Hearken.
No, start at 1. Start at 1.
Okay, slap.
Let's understand what this is talking about. Read.
Verse 1.
Uh-huh.
My heart is indicting a good matter.
My heart is indicting a good. Usually when we think about indictments, we never think about an indictment. Black man don't think about indictment. Nigga, indicted? Nigga? A good thing? That's never happened. Well, in this case, a good matter is indicted. Right, go ahead.
It says, my heart is indicting a good matter.
Uh-huh.
I speak of the things which I have made.
He speak to the things which he have made. Read.
Touching the king.
The king. Read.
My tongue is the pen of a ready writer.
Who is the king? Not in this case. Who is the king? Yahweh Shai is the king. Who is speaking right now? Wrong. You're right. People think Psalms. You think David wrote all the Psalms.
Mashil,
Uh-huh.
for the sons of Korah.
Uh-huh.
Korah, ain't he a Levite?
Korah is a Levite, but what is the significance of who is Korah? Or Korah? Who is that?
I want to say he's one of Aaron's sons.
No, not one of Aaron's sons.
Down, but is his brother Phineas?
No, he's not. He's not one of Aaron's sons. Korah is a very significant person in the Bible. Does anybody know why Korah is significant? Does anybody remember in the wilderness when the earth swallowed men up? Korah was one of the men who were swallowed up in the earth. That's what happened to Korah along with Dathan. Because this Dathan was a Reubenite, Korah was a Levite. So Korah came against Moses and Aaron and said, well, I'm a Levite too. Why ain't I up there? I need to be up there with y'all too. Didn't realize the Most High chose Moses and Aaron for very specific reasons. So, matter of fact, get that from me in Numbers. Moses says, ye sons of Levi, why weary me, ye sons of Levi? He say. This is about Korah. This is very important about Korah in understanding the book of Psalms. Because this brother automatically assumed David. David wrote many of the Psalms. But a lot of Psalms are also written by Asaph and written by the various sons of Korah in the Bible, right? So it's in the book of Numbers, I believe. Korah and Dathan, maybe about the 12th chapter.
It's like 16.
I got a question.
What's your question, Af?
So with the Psalms of them being David, are those the scribes? Will Korah and his sons be described and what was taking them down at that time?
No, Korah and Korah, the sons of Korah and Asaph are psalmists. They are Levitical priests that's office is to sing songs to the Most High. That's their job.
That's what the Songs of Solomon is from. It's not
No, the Songs of Solomon are Solomon songs. Solomon wrote
That's
those
what
songs.
Solomon wrote.
Con. So those are Solomon songs. Then you have the Psalms are David songs, and then the psalmist or the Levitical priest that's office was to sing songs. They wrote the other songs. Right? Korah's Rebellion 16. You start right there. 16. It's funny because this is going to tie into something you asked me before class. Go ahead.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 1.
Read.
Now Korah, the son of
Read.
the son of Izar.
The son of Izar, right? Which in the Hebrew is Yatazar or Yatazahar, something like that. Yatazar, Yatazahar, which just means shining, right? That was Levi. You asked me about the different divisions of the tribe of Levi. You had the Izarites, were a division of Levi. So that's the division of Levi he falls under, right? Read.
The son of Kohath.
Meaning he was a Kohathite Levite of the division of Izar. And you had the Aaronites and so on and so forth, kind of, right? So go ahead.
The son of Levi. And Dathan.
And Dathan, read.
And Abiram. The son of Eliab. And on the son of Peleth, sons of Reuben, took men. So you had these Levites and these Reubenites come together, and they took men. They gathered basically a rebellion against Moses and Aaron. Read on. And they rose up before Moses.
And this is what, and it's funny because this ties into what we was going into last week on what separates Reuben from the rest of the natives, from Gad, and what separates Levi from Benjamin. A rebellious spirit and a fighting spirit. In righteousness, we have fought against our enemies, but in wickedness, sometimes we have fought against righteous men of the Most High, and this is a clear example of that, right? So read. It's just a rebellious spirit amongst Reuben and Levi, just in general, right? So read on.
And they rose up before Moses with certain of the children of Israel, 250 princes of the assembly, famous in the congregation, men of renown.
So they got the princes. Every tribe, I believe we went into this dealing with the order lesson. Every tribe had chiefs and princes and things of that nature, right? Read on.
And they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron, and they said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them.
These are men that desire power. They desired power for all the wrong reasons. They wanted to have power. They said it's too much just for you two. We are all the Israelites. We are all the princes of God. We are all God's chosen people. So we need to be in on what y'all is on. Right? Read. They tried to usurp or propel themselves, exalt themselves as opposed to letting the Most High exalt them. Read on.
And the Lord is among them. It says, and the Lord is among them, wherefore they lift up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord. And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
And this goes into the order lesson as well, because the Most High always sets up order. This is how the Most High works, order. Does he bring up a good point? We're all the children of Israel. Well, you're right. We all are the children of Israel. But he's saying, are you guys putting yourself over the children of Israel? That's not what that is. The Most High has appointed these men to lead. That's all that is. That doesn't make anybody greater than anybody. These men have been set up to lead the nation at this point in time, to give us the laws, etc., etc. But these Negroes had the same spirit that so many Negroes have now. Well, who made you a leader? I ain't got to follow no man. I can get it on my own. Not realizing the Most High has set things up contrary to that. And this is living proof of it. Read that again now.
It says, and they gathered themselves together against Moses and against Aaron.
Read on.
And said unto them, Ye take too much upon you, seeing all the congregation are holy, every one of them.
We're all holy, read.
And the Lord is among them.
Yahweh is with us, read.
Wherefore then, lift you up yourselves above the congregation of the Lord.
We all brothers. Why are y'all lifting yourselves up? And it's not them lifting themselves up. The Most High lifted Moses up. Did Moses want to be the deliverer out of Egypt? Hell no. He couldn't even talk. And that's the only reason Aaron even came. So how in the hell did they lift themselves up over the congregation of the Lord? Yahweh lifted those men up, right? Some people don't get that because they either are insubordinate, they can't, they look at our people like pieces of garbage. So they feel some type of way about taking directions from another Negro or Latino, even though they'll take directions from the white man all goddamn day at the job, right? So this is the same spirit. They listen to the Egyptians. They built brick and mortar and built the Egyptians' empire, right? But they couldn't listen to Moses and Aaron, who did miracles unlike have ever been seen before. They don't want to listen to Moses, who last time somebody spoke about him became a leper. They don't want to do that. They want to come against Moses. So the Most High is going to show them something. Read.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
Moses fell upon his face. Who knows why Moses fell upon his face?
Sadness.
It's sadness. Why is he sad?
Because basically it's like stubborn-minded people.
Stubborn people, right? But why is he sad about it though?
He knows what's about to happen.
Because he knows what these simple niggas don't realize is the Most High is dealing with me in a way to where anyone that comes against me is going to die. Guaranteed they're dead. Everyone that came against me is dead. Right? And Moses has so much compassion and love for Israel. He's looking like, man, this dumbass. Now you gotta die. Now you gotta die, idiot. You shouldn't have said anything. Right? So go ahead.
And when Moses heard it, he fell upon his face.
And
he spake unto Korah and unto all his company, saying, even tomorrow the Lord will show who are his and who is holy.
The Lord gave it to him instantly. All right, the Lord is going to show you now. He's going to show you who's with him and who's really the holy of the holy, because there's always a holy of holies. This is why it said that the gold or the queen is like the gold of Ophir. That holy of holies in the temple, that 1/3 of the temple is built out of gold.
So when you say holy something, it's more separate than the next.
Exactly. Even more separate than the separate.
Than those that are
already separate. So that's the elect, right? So go ahead.
It says, and will cause him to come near unto him, even him whom he hath chosen. Will he cause to come near unto him.
Even whom he has chosen is going to be near unto Yahweh. Read.
This do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense.
What's a censer? Who knows what a censer is? Do you know?
Censer. C.
What is C? What is C? Yeah. Easy. I know how to spell it.
It's some type of hold on. A censer is like it's some type of like, I want to say warrior type of dude who comes in.
No.
He's like an officer.
No, you're thinking about a sentinel. You're thinking about a sentinel. That's what you're thinking
I
about.
thought he was talking about
No, sentinel which watches.
What it is, Cat.
A censer. Oh yeah, you know what a censer is?
Yeah, it's the thing that holds the incense.
Yeah, it's like it's like circular.
It's like a lamp.
It's like a lamp and it's got holes in it, and you put your incense in it and it bellows out. The Catholic popes have censers. That's probably the only time you've seen a censer. They'll go like this, and then the smoke will bellow. That come from the Levitical priesthood, right? It's like you've seen an incense holder, right?
Yeah.
It holds incense, but instead of being some long thing where you just lay it out, you put it within it, and it bellows out, and you can carry it around. You see what I'm saying? That's a censer. So he said, get your censers, because that was a Levitical thing, and they were of the Izarites, meaning they're Kohathites. So they bear censers. This is what Korah did, right? Read.
This do, take you censers, Korah and all his company, and put fire therein, and put incense in them before the Lord tomorrow. And it shall be that the men whom the Lord doeth choose, he shall be holy. He shall be holy. Ye take too much upon you, you sons of Levi.
He said, you take too much upon you. You want to be in my position, not realizing how you're wearying yourself. You're putting too much upon you. And you're going to see what the Lord is going to do. Moses had pity on him, but the Lord's judgment is the Lord's judgment. Most High taught him to not be what? A respecter of persons. Right? Read on.
It says, verse 8, and Moses said unto Korah, Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi.
Hear, I pray you, ye sons of Levi. Read on.
It says, seemeth it be a small thing unto you that the God of Israel hath separated you from the congregation of Israel.
He said, look, because he's talking to the children of Korah, and he's saying, don't it be a small thing, Shalom. He said, you think it's a small thing already? The Most High God has already separated Korah, right? Korah is already special. Why is Korah special? The God out of one. Because he's a Levite. He's already been separate already from the rest of Israel. He's already been made a priest, but that's not enough for this nigga. This nigga want to be the leader now, like Moses. You see what I'm saying? He said, no, read that again.
Seemeth it but a small thing unto you.
Seemeth it but a small thing. You think it's not a big deal that you want to be, and you are envious of our position that the Most High has forced Moses and Aaron into. Right? Read.
That the God of Israel have separated you from the congregation.
But you've already been separated. You're already a priest. That's not enough for you, Korah? You now want to be the man? You know what happens to a Negro that want to be the man? Oh, he's going to be the man, all right. He's either going to be the man in a box or he's going to be the man behind bars. That's what happens to the man. He dies or he goes to prison, right? We know that from just now in the world. In that time, he didn't go to prison. Most High didn't have a jail system set up in Israel. It wasn't no, you do this, you get locked up. No. You do this, you pay a fine, or you die. Those are your options, right? Or you just wash your ass and you'll be all right, right? In this case, for wanting to be the man, the Most High kills you. If you want to exalt yourself, the Most High will humble you. You know how to become the most humble? You go into the dirt and the worms begin to devour the flesh that you thought was special, right? So read.
It says to bring you near to himself.
The Most High has brought you near to himself already, Levi. What is wrong with you? Read.
To do the sacrifice of the tabernacles of the Lord. And to stand before the congregation to minister unto them.
Read on.
And he hath brought thee near to him, and all thy brethren, the sons of Levi with thee, and seek ye the priesthood also. So
now you seeking meaning the high priesthood, the Aaronite priesthood. This is what was wrong. And you asked me a question earlier, because there's a scripture that says, let not the Kohathites be cut off from the Levites. Why is that? I gave him the answer earlier. Who has any idea why that scripture is written? Don't let the Kohathites be cut off from the Levites.
Who are the Kohathites?
Who are the Kohathites? The Kohathites are a family of Levi, right? But why is it saying not to let the Kohathites be cut off from the rest of the Levites? You had a guess, Benjamin?
Because they had too much envy. From what you're saying, they had too much envy and wanted to do everything.
But why? Why? Here's the question: why? But technically, he did. Technically, he did give it to the Kohathites.
But there's an order. You feel me? If your order ain't that specific, it's like you feel me, you break it down into small.
Why isn't that their order, though? Is the question. Is Aaron a Kohathite?
So was they from Aaron?
No, but Aaron is from Kohath. So this is the issue. The issue is Korah is a Kohathite. Aaron is a Kohathite. But Aaron was made high priest. So the high priest line comes from his line. So the other Kohathites, this is why it's written, do not let them be cut off from Levi. They still have a priestly role, but they just ain't the high priest. Right. Korah is looking like, nigga, you my cousin. I should be a high priest too. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead. The envy right there, right? Why this nigga get to be the high priest, but I'm just a regular priest? Why can't you just be happy? Moses is a nigga. Why can't you just be happy being a regular priest? Because guess what? Moses isn't a high priest. Moses' kids ain't high priest. They're priests, but Aaron got the high priesthood. You see? So go ahead.
Verse 11. For which cause both thou and all thy company are gathered together against the Lord.
So, right, go ahead. And they said, look, your envy and your want and desire for power and your jealousy against your cousin in this case got you to gather a rebellion against the Most High. You're not coming against Moses and Aaron. At this point, you're coming against the Most High. This man done parted the Red Sea. He done brought 10 plagues to Egypt, the greatest thing and the only thing you've ever known. Then hit a rock, made water come out of it. Bread done fell from heaven. All by Moses, you saw this happen. And you gonna come against this man, you idiot? Go ahead.
And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him?
And what is Aaron that ye murmur against him? Because this is what Moses is saying. He said, really, they got a problem with Aaron. That's who they have a problem with, right? Read.
And Moses sent to call Dathan and Abiram.
Now he's calling Dathan and Abiram, which are what tribe? No, we read it. What you said? What? No, they're not Levites. Reubenites. He already addressed the Levite. Now he's coming to the Reubenites because it was Levi and Reuben that came together in this rebellion. Read.
Which,
So you got a bunch of, it's just like down in Florida, right? You got a bunch of Haitians and a bunch of Seminole Indians down there. And now they trying to come against some other Haitians, right, Reed?
it says, which said, we will not come up. It is a small thing that thou hast brought us up out of the land that floweth with milk and honey.
See, but the Reubenites got another problem than the Levites got. They equally hate Moses and Aaron out of envy, right? But the Levites' problem is, nigga, I want to be a high priest. The Reubenites' problem is, nigga, I want to go back to Egypt, the land of milk and honey, where everything was all good. You got us out here in the middle of nowhere. Imagine that. Then they turned around and became Indians. You see what I'm saying? Sorry. They wanted to go back into Egypt. Same way a Negro now don't want to come out of bondage. Nigga, you done took me out here to live in the wilderness. Nigga, I had an EBT card. Nigga, I had WIC, right? I had an Obama phone. I had HUD. What the hell do I need to be in the middle of nowhere for, eating God knows what, falling out of heaven with you niggas?
And that's why that one chick we had to get on and rebuke, and she deleted her Facebook page. She redid it because she was like, I gave up everything. It just seems like I can't stop catching hell. I can't get a break. Basically she started denouncing the Bible, and then we had to get on her and rebuke her.
I was talking about, we both, listen, it's so cold because me and this brother rebuked her and we didn't even know, because I didn't come on her damn Facebook post and rebuked her. I hopped in that inbox. I never talked to the sister before, but I had her on my friends list. I cursed her out and this brother did the same thing in the spirit. Your ass tripping. You see what I'm saying? But and didn't hold no punches with her. But that's good because she, unlike a lot of men couldn't have took that rebuke that harsh. She took it. You see what I'm saying? She took it on the chin, cut her book or cut her page off for a few days, came back, now it seemed like she all right. You see what I'm saying? But a lot of our people, they don't want to let go of these things. This is all we've ever known. Israel has only ever known Egypt at this point. That's it. We ain't never had our own land. We became a nation of people in Egypt. We didn't become a nation of people in Israel. We went in 70 deep into Egypt, and we came out millions. You see that? So 400 years, all we ever knew was Egypt. Just like now, all you've ever known is America or Egypt. So anything different, nigga talk about going camping right now, you might be like, I don't know, you talking about camping, I don't know about all that. I'm from the city. You know what I'm saying? Even living in certain parts of San Diego, right? Because where I come from, it's a grid city. Block, 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 block. You see what I'm saying? That's it. It's blocks. That's easy. This stuff, the winding road, long, all that, you're not used to all that. You see what I'm saying? That certain part, you get into certain parts of the city and you off into the damn mountain somewhere, or you off in the middle of the damn desert. We ain't used to all that. So we like, I got to get back to the city, right? All the amenities of the city where there's 7-Elevens every damn where. This is what we are used to. So if we go into the wilderness right now, please believe niggas that think they in the truth is going to be like, man, I don't know about all this, man. I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to go where I know I could go to Food for Less with my car, with my baby mom card, and, I could get right. Right, with my baby mom card. It's the same thing going on coming out there by Amrika.
Even when I came into this truth and I heard that, oh, man, you got to get back to the roots or God's going to take you guys from here and stuff. Like, when I was in the world, it hurt me. It was like, man, I don't want to be back in Africa, you know what I'm saying? I like where I'm at. I'm saying over there, you know what I'm saying? Dirt niggas ain't even eating over there, right? Yeah.
That's what we thinking because we just
so brainwashed to live in under this shit.
He did. The white man knows what to do. He knows I'm gonna give them the scraps, and they're gonna learn to be okay with it, and they're gonna learn to love it. We went from being okay with it to loving it. You see what I'm saying? Go ahead.
And that's what I was gonna say. Like, we lived under this subjection so much to where I learned once I talked to brothers, when you tell them about these law, statute, commandment, it seems off to them because they've been so used to these, accustomed to this way. So when you tell them, hey man, better yourself, it doesn't seem like that's better. I mean, it seems like that's worse.
Yeah, I'm making my life harder. Right? You have a point?
I got a few points. We become dependent upon Esau to where we want to make ourselves independent and autonomous. All right. Shouts out to shouts out to the brother Divine.
Somebody.
Shouts out to the brother Divine.
Yeah,
because he's always going into the different ways that we could be autonomous as a nation and be able to govern ourselves we always have it in the back of our mind of how does Esau do it? Well, you know, we got to go and plant our own food and then wait. We don't, and there isn't a McDonald's, there isn't a Subway, there isn't a Jack in the Box on the corner. You know what I'm saying? What is it? Checkers. There ain't a Checkers on the damn corner where you can just go get food any time of the day that you want. What you got?
It's like our people is cool with laboring for other nations, but they don't want to labor for our own nation.
Listen, not only that, they don't even want to labor for themselves. Again, going back to the interview that Dame Dash had on the Breakfast Club, where he was talking about being a boss for yourself and not breeding employees. We constantly been encouraged to go to school. That means we're going to learn from the white man and to get a good job, and we're going to go work for the white man. We've never learned, been taught or encouraged to learn our own history on our own, the way that we need to, you know, have it.
That's fine.
They want to say, well, the white man doesn't break down the Bible that way. And we don't never want to say, we know we need to go and have a business or have our own businesses to where we can work for ourselves. That's why brothers always got issues of, man, well, I finally got Saturdays off. You know what I'm saying? Well, look, can we, is it okay, brother, if I get off of work at 3 o'clock, even though camp starts at 3? You know what I'm saying? Hey, wait for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting off work at 6. I know class will start at around 6 or 7. I'm right on my way. Not one time do we ever really put the effort or the energy into establishing our own stuff, so we don't have none of those issues. Coming out of Esau, man, is hard.
I just got into
Get him. I just need 4.
Either Sunday, Monday.
Nah, I'm straight.
Because
All right. All right, so.
I don't say,
See what I'm saying?
you know, talk to somebody and see where this gonna go. Either y'all gonna let me stay for a while to job find me another job, or what's the outcome? Like, can I just shave it down like low? I don't want to say rough because I'm not keeping law.
That's what I'm saying, and that's the predicament that Esau puts us into, because again, we are still dependent upon him. I actually got 2 scriptures, man. One dealing with what the brothers were saying about how the sister was just, she was just like, man, I keep going through it, you know, and like the brother said, she was pretty much giving up on the Most High and starting to really come up against him. This is Deuteronomy 28:33. The fruit of thy land and all thy labors shall a nation which thou knowest not eat up, and thou shalt be only oppressed and crushed always, so that thou shalt be mad for the sight of thine eyes which thou shalt see.
Damn,
she said, I'm going through it. And a lot of times, man, it drives us crazy. How many times have I brought this scripture out in the past 2 days? 4 or 5 times. You know what I'm saying? I seen it, and we and him, we was going over it, and it just keeps coming out, man. Our people out here going crazy from the oppression that we're going through. We are actually going crazy. Another one. You jump down to verse 48. It says, therefore thou shalt serve thine enemies, which the Lord shall send against thee, in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things, and he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. And that's the position that we're in. We got to go to him for work. We got to go to him for food. And when we put that responsibility on ourselves, when we separate from the devil, it seems so hard. When the scripture says, until he has destroyed you, you're going to be only oppressed and crushed always. I mean, the Most High wasn't playing. That's why it's both, you know, you coming back into the law, statutes, and commandments, but it's also you dealing through the Spirit. You got to have that Holy Spirit that the Most High sent in the name of Yahweh Shai to be able to literally come out of that. Because you trust and believe you're doing it in a shorter amount of time than you were put into the ways of Esau. You know what I'm saying? Brothers is coming to the truth after 20 years of being indoctrinated and that ideology beat into your head. 20 years, and you coming out of that in 6 months to a year, fully. You know what I'm saying? Hey, all praises to the Most High in Christ.
That's right.
That's what we call spiritual right there. A lot of people can't do it, man. But it's about, you know, us understanding what's going on.
That's right.
A lot of us don't want to do it. They don't want to. Like that's what the brother was speaking about how they wanted to go back into Egypt. The same way a lot of our people will want to go back. I mean, come back to a lot of our people have came back to America. They went over to Egypt and then wanted to come and then came back to America. So, you know,
that's a fact.
These are the things that's actually happening in reality.
You know, like your brother said, you had something?
Yeah, let me get a couple. This is Isaiah chapter 20, verse 5. It says, and they shall be afraid and ashamed of Ethiopia, their expectation, and of Egypt, their glory.
You see that? Go be afraid and ashamed. That place that you thought was so good, that you loved so much, that you thought would never see defeat, as you thought would never see hardship, you're going to be ashamed for that. Our people that love America are going to be ashamed for it. All right? In that day. Read on.
It says, Isaiah 31:1. Woe to them that go down to Egypt for help.
Woe that go down to Egypt for help. And that's what is getting ready to come upon the children of Dathan, or not the children, but Dathan and Korah and their rebellion. Woe or destruction, right? And number one, name from what we have gathered from this story to this point, what is one fundamental flaw of this rebellion? Envy. But as we just showed, it's two different reasons for the rebellion. So what is the fundamental flaw in this rebellion? You have the Levites that are envying, but you got the Reubenites that just want to go back to Egypt. So what's the fundamental flaw in the rebellion?
Can you put the question another way?
How do we know that this isn't going to work? Unity.
Yeah.
Unity. There is no unity. Give me the book of 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. Okay, go ahead, read it.
Book of 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. For the Most High is not the author of confusion.
That's right, read.
But of peace, as in all the churches of the saints.
Most High is not the author of confusion. This is a confused council. They're not on one accord. You see what I'm saying? On why? They just want to come against Moses and Aaron. Half of them want to go back to damn Egypt. The other half just want to be in power. So let's say they were successful when they overthrew Moses and Aaron. There's going to be another rebellion. Why is there going to be another rebellion? Because the Levites going to say, okay, we running the show now. We up in there. And the Reubenites going to say, nah, we going back. So then somebody's going to have to die. That's what's going to have to happen. There's going to have to be bloodshed. So this whole rebellion was damned from the beginning. Because you're coming not only just against the Most High, but on the auspice that you're doing it, it's not out of any righteousness, right? Go ahead. Cannot stand, exactly. A house divided against itself cannot and will never stand. Yahweh Shai spoke on this. This is a clear example of that. These are two groups of people, two tribes of Israel coming together for a rebellion against the Lord's leadership in the earth at this time, Moses and Aaron. And we see what's happened. They fall, right?
Back in
go ahead, whatever you got.
Back in Isaiah 31, it says, and stay on horses and trust in chariots.
And that's what they're trusting in. They trusted in the same chariots they saw the Most High swallow up in the Red Sea.
Right.
They trusted them. Our people are pieces of garbage for this, man. Go ahead.
Because they are many, and in horsemen.
But there are many of them. We're just a feeble bunch of disorganized niggas in the woods. They have an empire with many horses and much merchandise and much food. And this is where I want to go, even though God feeds me every day with manna from heaven. Right? Read.
Yeah, they tempted Christ.
That's right.
And that's how you know that 2/3 of our people are them same people from back in Egypt.
Because you're doing the same.
Especially the non-messianics. They tempting Christ. They gonna get them serpents. They gonna get them fiery flying missiles out.
That's right.
All right. It says, and in horsemen, because they are very strong, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel.
They're not looking to Yahweh. Yahweh led them out of Egypt. Yahweh delivered them from slavery. And Yahweh is utilizing Moses and Aaron to lead the nation. They don't look to that. They're looking back to Egypt. Read.
Neither seek the Lord. Last one. Deuteronomy 17:16. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt.
Nor call a king says, the commandments say a king should never cause the people to return to Egypt. You cannot lead Black and Hispanic people if you want them to further dig themselves into the American system or any system where we're in bondage. That is a clear-cut sign of an unfit leader. If this man is not talking exclusively about liberation from these bonds, he's not fit to be a leader of Israel. That's what the law says. Read.
It says, to the end that he should multiply horses, for as much as Yahweh have said unto you, you shall henceforth return no more that way.
Most High said, don't go back to Egypt. Don't go there. Don't do it. That place is evil. That place is wicked. I put you there to give you an example of what not to do, of who not to be. Right? So go ahead.
That's it on that.
All right, so let's go back to that.
You can't have liberation and oppression
Simultaneous. It's counterproductive. The same as this rebellion. It's counterproductive. The Levites ain't mad that they left Egypt. They just want to run the show. They just want to be a part of this, you know, standing on top of everybody. Right, be seen of men. The Reubenites, they just want to go back to Egypt. That's not going to work. Go ahead.
All right, I got a quick. It's an issue with it. Whoever this dude name is, give him that work. He's swearing up and down right now in Compton that there is war between blacks and Mexicans.
Okay, there is black war with blacks and Mexicans in Compton, and there's wars with Pyrus and Pyrus in Compton, and there's wars with Crips and Crips in Compton. Right? Suge Knight. Where's Suge Knight from? Who got it? The mob. Yeah. The mob is at war with every Pyru hood in Compton pretty much right now. The mob. Right. So Mexicans and blacks is at war. Are Mexicans and blacks at war in San Diego?
That's what I was going to say.
No.
Because real quick, you know what I'm saying, the brother Hassad is pretty much trying to let them know that there's, you know, no such war that's happening. But, you know, from the perspective of you're trying to make it a race thing. Like blacks hate Mexicans and Mexicans hate blacks the same way it is with blacks and whites. And that's not the case. All right. You are trying to perpetuate something that's not true.
Number one, where is he from?
He's from Compton. So he tried to ask Hassad, is Hassad from Cali? Well, we all living in Cali right now. I'm born and raised in Cali in a Mexican neighborhood by the world famous Chicano Park. Okay.
Logan Heights.
I'm like 5 blocks away from Chicano Park in a Mexican hood called Sherman Heights. All right. Well, you got your what is it? You know, what is it? The 13s. What is it? The MS. You got the MS-13s just surround all of that. All right. And I ain't never had no issue with no Mexicans. With the brother in here, we had had a few issues with the Mexicans, but they cool now, and it ain't no issues. You know what I'm saying? So
number one, when you go,
same Mexicans, big homies.
Exactly. We went to school with all of these Mexicans, man. There ain't no black and Mexican.
Number one, when I go by this brother's house, Sherman Heights, you know what I see on the wall? I see Logan Heights versus Sherman Heights.
That's right.
I don't see Sherman. That neighborhood is shared with Sherman Heights and West Coast Crips.
That's right.
Do I see Sherman Heights? Fuck Crips, fuck niggers, this and that. No, we don't see any of that going on. They have their own issues and we have our own issues. You know, number one, Compton. Now, if you're actually from Compton now, where are you from in Compton? Number one. Number two, when did the black and Mexican issues really start in Compton? Was it the turn of this century? That's when the Flats and the Crips and the Pyrus started going at it with each other primarily, was in the 2000s. And was it happening in the 90s?
Right, because before I came into the truth, I always tell this brother, my family's from Santana's out there. So they always wanted me to be from Santana, and they did music. So they would let me see their music videos all the time. And they was pushing the black and brown line heavy, the Santanas and the Mexicans out there. Pushing the black and brown line heavy. Every music video, they're dapping each other up. It's all nothing but love. Like I said, I don't know how it is now, but every time I've been in Compton, down Long Beach Boulevard, you know, like I said, dealing with my family from out there, they always on some black and brown love out there.
So you stay by Manville.
It was always like blacks and Mexicans that shared neighborhoods, and they got along with each other in every hood.
In every hood, they got their thing, and we got our thing. And then sometimes,
if the enemy came through busing, they'll bust with us.
Yeah, exactly, because that's their neighborhood. And then on top of that, sometimes you'll have Mexicans that's from black hoods and blacks from Mexican hoods.
Exactly.
I know it's low key, as quiet as it's kept. It's a gang of Mexican hoovers.
That's right.
A gang. Now, if you're gonna play the black and brown thing, the only place you're gonna have to go, as far as in Southern California, you're gonna have to go either to the east side with the Florencias and the East Coasters, or you're gonna have to go to Long Beach. But I always explain there's a reason why there's a black and brown issue in Long Beach. Reason why it's a black and brown issue in Long Beach? Because there's no Bloods in Long Beach. So who are the Crips going to beef with if there's no Bloods around? They're gonna beef with each other, and they're gonna beef with the Mexicans. You see what I'm saying? That's the reason for it. But we're gonna talk about Mexican and black issues when blacks and blacks is killing each other more than Mexicans is killing blacks, and Mexicans is killing each other more than the other hand too. So why don't we talk that's actually consistent with the, give me the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 56. You had a point, the guy?
I was gonna say, it doesn't seem like kids nowadays have the real black and Mexican riots anymore in school.
Yeah, he said
That's not something that you, when I was a freshman in high school in 05, that's something we were prepared for. You know, Mexican, black and Mexicans fight, riots. We know that's gonna go down.
Right.
You don't see that too much in
That's not going on.
And
if I could add too, because I was the same way, and I thought about it. You know what I'm saying? When I'm like, it ain't no black and Mexican issue, especially when we went to school with them. You would go up to school, and it would be more so of like, you know, the rumor, or it'd be something that's like influence. Black, yeah, you know, we got into it with the Mexicans last year. But when you think about it, only reason blacks is getting into it with Mexicans is on some gangbanging stuff. There's no just regular or average Joe Mexican getting into it with an average Joe black dude.
By virtue.
Because there's just a war. No, you got the gangbanging Mexican, they tagging on the wall, and you got another black blood kid or Crip black kid, and he probably get caught Xing, you know what I'm saying? Xing the jump. Listen, I'm out in Del Cerro. My homie, he get caught Xing somebody's head out. The two little hyenas, you know what I'm saying? They catch him like, oh, I'm finna snitch. Told the Mexicans, and we end up getting a fight over it. You know what I'm saying? Had nothing to do with, oh, blacks don't like Mexicans, because my homie was trying to be a gang member and he called somebody's set out. That's what it has everything to do with. The same way a black dude would have got mad, or a black girl would have got mad if you tried to X their hood out. Come on, it's the same thing.
Not just by virtue of race. That's not what. Go ahead.
No, when you walk through my alley, you can read all of it. I've been living in my home. I don't know how to read it, but he always read like, oh, look, see, they done X.
See, it's all Sherman and Logan's going at it.
Logan.
Wait, hold on. Let the officer say something. He's familiar with
the Hispanic tribes.
I'm familiar with, you know, the black and Hispanic, you know, beef that goes on. You know, I deal with the Northern Kingdom a lot, you know, mainly the SICARRIs, you know. So I'm gonna put a testimony out, right? You know, these brothers not may have a testimony dealing with, you know, a Mexican hating them or whatnot. But I have a testimony to put out that me and my woman, we went down to her father's old set, which is in San Isidro, right? So we went to go do the taxes, whatever. We walking through this alley, we see two cholos in the chola, right? So we walking by, and the chola said, "What is that bitch doing with that nigger?" In Spanish.
That's what he just said right now.
So when I was walking, I said, "What they say?" Because I don't speak Spanish that good. She was like, they basically said, "What is this bitch doing with this nigger?" Because that's how, you know, some families, they run it that way. When I dealt with Mexican women, it's always them saying, "Oh, my grandmother always told me to stay with the Mexican man." Or if not the Mexican man, go get you a white man.
Well, yeah, the Latinos is like that. Latinos are, they remember that video we watched? They did a study on racial dating, right? And they said that Latin women are #1, and then Middle Eastern women are #2 in staying with their own and not dating outside of their race. Then they said black women would have been #1, but black men were interested in races outside of black women, so they weren't #1. They actually were the most likely to be single on this is off of one dating website, and the information that they gathered. So this is something that's instilled in them more, is to stick within their own. But Yash, continue.
Yeah, so, you know, sticking within their own, they want their babies to come out with that straight, you know, stringy hair. They don't want their babies to come out with that nappy hair. I mean, I had a situation where I went to Rosarito with my woman and her family, and her father had enough nerve to say that his wife's friend's daughter has the perfect skin tone, being light, like way lighter than me, way lighter than Lloyd.
Which is
perfect skin tone.
which is simply called white supremacy. We just spoke about that last week on the streets when them two Mexican women came by and said everybody's unique and beautiful in their own way. That's a damn lie. You don't believe that. Blacks and Hispanics do not believe that. Not the majority of us. The majority of us hate ourselves and want to be white people desperately. I
You
saw.
see what they doing over in Jamaica? They're
Bleaching, the skin bleaching.
and then they peeling their skin off to make it lighter. Like,
Mhm.
that's
It's disgusting. It's disgusting. So, with all that being said, can we also see the same things happen amongst the black tribes? So I don't understand what the huge thing is. When I deal with the history, number one, before the white man divided blacks and Hispanics, did blacks and Hispanics have issues? Who built the city of Los Angeles? Blacks and Mexicans collaboratively together. You see what I'm saying? I remember I seen a video of some OGs, South Central. I want to say like the Raymonds or something like that. So my man, the Mexicans is taking over here. No, this is their land. They're from here. It was stolen from them. They're moving back to what was theirs. Instead of being at odds with them, brothers need to start looking at them another way. You see what I'm saying? But the black and the Mexican thing, because that's why I said I'm glad I asked where he's from, if he's actually from out here, because I done heard so many people, oh my God, from other parts of the country try to tell me about what's going on in Southern California.
Right.
Nigga, I live here every day. Mexicans, by virtue, are not murdering. Somebody said Mexicans are attacking black families. There was a story they had on Fox 11. I want to say this is back in the mid-2000s about the Mexican. They put the story out about the Mexican gang shooting up. I want to say, who was it, man? I'm trying. I forget who it was. I want to say it was down there like it might have been the 30 Rouge down there on the east side. It was a beef between them and the Mexican hood, right? So you got all the black people on the TV crying, right? All the Judites crying. Oh my God, they making it out to be a racial thing. But when they went and interviewed the Mexicans is like, these niggas gunned one of our little kids down with an AK a couple months ago, and that's what started this whole thing. So don't let the media upplay the situation. We are going at each other because we have curses that are affecting us collectively and mutually. Go ahead, read that.
Before I get this, man, the brother that was making these statements, he's getting some more understanding. You know what I'm saying? He's humbled down. He understands exactly what we're talking about. But he also made the statement. He says, "But aren't we supposed to be the same people, even though we do have issues within our own race that we want to stay? The Mexicans want a Mexican woman or Mexican man to get with a Mexican. Sometimes I ain't gonna really say too much with blacks, but." Even though we should be more like that. We should be more like that, but we're not. The point I'm making is that this is why a lot of brothers that's in the comment boards need to be paying more attention to the live stream and the videos rather than arguing so much in the damn comments. If
it becomes a problem, comments might get disabled.
It's gonna be disabled because if you understand, if you was listening to the live stream, the brother just brought it out when we're speaking about the Levites right now in the scriptures. He says, why is this whole issue that the Levites is going through? Why is it not going to work? Because there is no unity amongst them. This is why we are not moving and progressing as a people, because there was no unity. So the fact that a Mexican woman is or a Mexican family is gonna get mad at a Mexican woman or man for getting with a black or a Native American, the issue is because we are now divided as a people. So therefore we can't stand. All right. So again, he said that's why he's confused, because these are the things that he's seeing. This is why you need to understand who your people are, and this is gonna put it in a better perspective as to why we're being
pay more attention to the live stream.
Definitely pay more attention to the live stream, but it's gonna put it in a perspective where you're gonna have more understanding. That's why we're going through the things we're going through. Because we're divided. I got Deuteronomy 28:56.
Get that and get Jeremiah 31. Go ahead.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 56.
Let's understand why you have black on black crime, brown on brown crime, and black on brown and brown on black crime. Read.
It's Deuteronomy 28:54. So that the man that is tender among you.
The man that is tender among you, read.
And very delicate.
And very delicate. Read on.
His eye shall be evil toward his brother.
Your eye is evil towards your brother. It is a curse that is affecting all 12 tribes collectively. What none of y'all talk about is the Native American and Mexican beef.
That's right.
Oh, nobody talk about that. The natives hate the Mexican and the Mexican hate the native. Right? Why? What's the reasoning behind that? Oh, I know. The devil. That's why.
That's
right. And the curses. That's all that is. Right? So read.
And toward the wife of his bosom.
Why? And then why do we have disorder in our households? Because our eyes are evil one toward another. How we know we're our people is because we beefing with each other and not beefing with anybody else. That's a telltale sign, right? Read.
And towards the remnant of his children, which he shall leave.
Come on, give me Jeremiah 31. No more two nations. Oh, go ahead.
Isaiah 11 and 13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart.
This is what's going on. The northern kingdom is envious of the southern kingdom. Read.
And the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off.
Read.
Ephraim shall not envy Judah.
Ephraim shall no longer, the Latino shall no longer envy the black. Read.
And Judah shall not vex Ephraim.
And the black shall no longer vex the Latino. They envy us, we vex them. We went into this a couple weeks ago at class, starting with King Solomon. Everybody hold your points. Go ahead. Go ahead, back to, that was it on that? Give me Jeremiah 31. Go ahead.
Jeremiah chapter 31. You want 31? Verse 31. Behold, the days come, saith the Lord.
The days are coming. This is prophecy. The days are coming. Read.
That I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah.
There's a new covenant. Read on.
And not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers.
Read on.
In the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt.
Read on.
Which my covenant they break. Although I was an husband unto them, saith the Lord. But this shall be the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my law in their inward parts, and I will write them in their hearts.
Read.
And I will be to them, I will be their God, and they shall be my people.
Keep going.
And they shall teach no more every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall all know me, from the least of them unto the greatest of them, saith the Lord. For I will forgive their iniquity and will remember their sin no more.
Keep going.
Thus saith the Lord, which giveth the sun for a light by day, and the ordinance of the moon.
So like, this is not what I need.
What you looking for?
I'm looking for no more two nations.
Oh, that's Ezekiel 37.
Salaki, you're right. I'm thinking new covenant. You know?
Hey, what's vex mean? That's all.
Vex, irritate. Right? That's why we're not supposed to vex the stranger. You see what I'm saying? That's what we did. Let's be honest here. I'll be honest. I look at a Mexican as an easy win. You bully Mexicans. I'm just gonna come straight. We was in school. Oh, I take a fade with an essay. That's practice. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get your hands up. We vex. I remember one time, me and the homie, we got in a circle of 20 essays and said, listen, we'll fight all of you niggas. That's the type of stuff we're doing to the Mexicans. Everybody hold your points. Go ahead.
Ezekiel 37 and 22. And I will make them one nation in the land upon the mountains of Israel, and one king shall be king.
He's gonna make us one nation. What does that mean? He's gonna make us one nation. No, give me that. No more two.
Yeah, it's right here.
Okay, it's coming.
Yeah.
Salaki, go ahead.
And one king shall be king to them all.
Yeah, I shall read.
And they shall be no more two nations.
We shall be no more two nations. We are one nation, but we're operating as two nations. Do you think it's anything new that the Mexicans is clicked up with the Woods? And we clicked up with the others? That's not nothing new. Yeah, we click up with our enemies against each other. That happened in history. Read about the Northern Kingdom. They were clicking up with Assyria and Egypt to come against Judah. And Judah's clicking up with Babylon. And then what happens? They all got all of us and put all of us into slavery. You idiots. You see what I'm saying? That's our people's problem right there. This is not a new thing. We've been doing this. We've been having these issues. We've been being evil towards each other. We've been functioning as two when we are actually one. We brought up the word vex, right? Scriptures say not to vex the stranger. What does that mean, not to vex the stranger? Not to provoke him, but who is the stranger?
Our brothers
that are strange. Our brothers that are strange.
Right.
I'm going to give you the example. We're going to, next week, we're going to Miami, Most High, we're going to go to Little Haiti, right? When you hear about the story of the Zoe Pound and these infamous Haitian gangsters, and you hear about niggas talk about every song, they talk about how many Haitians they know and how many Haitian killers niggas got and things of that nature. Do you know why that is? Who knows why Haitians have a reputation of being brutal killers? Because when we began to come to America, the tribe of Judah, the tribe of Benjamin, the tribe of Ephraim, the tribe of Manasseh vexed us and picked on us until we began to kill them. And then they learned to leave us alone, and now everybody wants to be our friend. You see that? That's how that happened. This is us vexing one another. When you hear the testimony, it's there's a World Star Hip Hop special in Miami, right? It's a dude. I put a segment of it in the video on the stranger, because you'll have a coon Israelite. He'll say, "The stranger. We gotta love these other people." Give me that in Leviticus real quick, 25 and about 35, right? Give me Leviticus 25 and 35. People will act as if the stranger, or we're not supposed to vex, is talking about a heathen. It's talking about your brother who either was born outside of Israel and is coming to Israel, or may just be from another part of Israel, another town in Israel. Just like Judah, you may have a cousin coming from down south, be coming out here. Don't be like, "Oh yeah, you country ass nigga," all the, you know what I'm saying? This is your people. You see what I'm saying? I mean, of course you're gonna laugh and joke, but don't vex the brother. You see what I'm saying? These are the laws that the Most High gave us, and that we can see that we do to one another. Right? That's why I always bring up the tribe of Levi in this instance, because this was clearly they were getting vexed harshly. Anytime you hear about the story of the Zopan started, they're like, yeah, the Judite, they was just beating up on us. They was making fun of us, telling us we stink, how broke we was, and all of that. So we had to just do what the hell we had to do. You see what I'm saying? That's how it happened. It didn't happen no other way. Because when the tribe of Levi came to Florida, where Judah was supposed to welcome us in with open arms, like the tribe of Issachar had enough damn sense to do in this time. But the tribe of Judah and the tribes of Benjamin, they didn't open us in with open arms. Same thing in the Bahamas, of which the brother Bazak was here. Most I wouldn't. I believe that they're coming. But in the Bahamas, the tribe of Benjamin acted like that towards Levi, until Levi started getting so damn deep and so ruthless. They're like, we just gotta just leave them Haitians alone. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 25, verse 35.
Mm-hmm.
And if thy brother
read,
be waxed poor, and fallen into decay with thee, then thou shalt relieve him. Yea, though he be a stranger.
So the strangers that it's talking about, to do good unto, not to vex, that's our brothers. But they're still strange to you. You may not know him all that good. He may not be from the part of town that you're from, but that's still your brother. So you treat him accordingly, right? This is something that we as a people have gotten away from doing. So you see that amongst within tribes, and then between tribes, and also between kingdoms of the northern and the southern kingdom. This is no wonder. It's all in the Bible. Black and Mexican issues is not something that's irregular between Hebrew Israelite tribes. This has been happening. All right. And trust and believe, Mexicans are killing each other far more than they're killing any black people. All right. They're killing each other ruthlessly. Who's seen American Me? Didn't Puppet have to kill Little Puppet?
What is it, like the price
Right?
going against the South?
And then
come over here and call it American Mexican a Pice, he gonna get mad.
The Pisces in the South Side beat. And then the Norteños and Serranos. When you go into Northern California, the Norteños is clicked up with the Crips up there, and they go against the Serranos. So what is this big black? And when you go to see, who's been to San Jose? Anybody here been to San Jose before? San Jose, them Mexicans act like niggas. You'd have thought they just nigga. That's it. That's who they are.
Even the goots up there act like niggas.
Yeah, well, yeah, everybody up there acts like niggas. But Terrell, you had a point? They're what you call Judaized Issacharites. Go ahead.
I was going to bring up the brother, it's the tribe of Issachar that came to the camp. He was like,
yes, like his brother said, served you. He grew up with the Southern. He grew up with Judites and things like that nature. I got little homies. A couple of my little homies is correct. Yeah. You think they, and guess what? The Mexicans. Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you what's funny, man. Quick testimony, all right, worldly testimony, but it shows you. I got a little Mexican homie. Right. He was my co-defendant too on my case. So his pops found out what? His pops found out that he was riding with niggas. You see what I'm saying? So his pops was kind of messed up about it at first. His pops got on the phone with him. He said, what you running with the niggas? He was kind of messed up about it at first. Then you know what his pop said? He said, fuck it, who we beefing with? That's what his pop said.
Right.
I mean, at first glance, it's like, because we don't know we the same people. But when you really think about it, it's like, whatever, we the same people. The guy,
You see at the Alpha de Longo, you know, when they had the thing, you know, we had the Brown Berets out there.
The Brown Berets was out there.
They were acting like niggas out there roasting the police. You feel me?
Well, the thing about it is, like I was saying, for him to say that this is huge black and Mexican beef going on in Southern California, it's not apparent in San Diego like that. It's just not. You see what I'm saying? And we closest to the border. Right.
Like I said, the brother, he's got to understand it, man. He thanked us, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we're supposed to do, to edify our brothers in the show.
Got precepts. Go ahead.
Jeremiah 3:18, dealing with America in the Bible. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel.
In those days, this is a day that's coming, and a day that we're seeing previews of. And that's what the beauty of Donald Trump's election is, because we're coming close to the days where the house of Judah and the house of Israel, read,
shall come together out of the land of the north.
Out of the land of the north. This lets you know what it's talking about. Was Israel in Babylon? No, it was Israel in Babylon.
Sorry, no.
Israel was not in Babylon.
Right.
Judah, Benjamin, and Levi was in Babylon. Israel, the northern kingdom, was not with us in Babylon. 1 second, go ahead.
Let's substantiate that. Jeremiah 50:33.
There we go.
Thus saith Yahweh of hosts.
That's right.
The children of Israel and the children of Judah,
the Latin man and the black man, read,
were oppressed together.
We're now oppressed together. This is a new thing. Now we're oppressed together. Now we're starting to realize, wait a minute, man, what's going on?
We were never oppressed together.
Ever.
Except for Egypt.
Egypt and some of the smaller captivities, which is when we were subjugated to the likes of the Philistines, the things you read about in the book of Judges. You see what I'm saying? We were subjugated together. But ever since we split, we never faced a mutual subjugation or oppression since we split. So this is talking, especially not in ancient Babylon by Anruka.
Is that a future prophecy right here in 18?
Yeah, that's, of course. We're not walking together now. Yeah.
Right.
The north is we're in the land of the north.
Yeah. Talking about when Most High takes us back to the kingdom.
Right. When he brings us out of the land of North Asar.
So we was just speaking on this the other day. So how's that going to happen? Like when this place be destroyed, how are we going to go back to where we come from?
We left on slave ships. We leaving on spaceships.
That's right.
I said that, but I wasn't ready.
The bar.
You know, that's it. That's the only way to escape thermonuclear destruction, because this place is going to be destroyed.
Now, the deacon had mentioned, I think that was last week or 2 weeks ago, about how some is going to be caught up, but some that's going to be left back.
No.
We talking about
The left behind are those of us who are not martyrs.
Okay.
So if the brother dies, he's of the elect, he's going to get raised up first, but he has left us behind.
Oh,
that's what the left behind is. Not like the rapture, the so-called rapture happens and then people get left behind. The left behind that the Bible's talking about is just your brothers in the faith that have passed on and that are asleep, and now we're left behind on earth. So the method of our deliverance is what the world calls so-called UFOs, which they know what they are because that's why they got the missile defense systems. They know the Bible, they know the scriptures. So the method of deliverance for the children of Israel, like the brother said, is going to be the chariots of the Most High, which are so-called UFOs.
So the 144 and the 130 is going to be caught up together.
Well, in America's first, because they got to get. We here in America, we got to get delivered first, because this is where the lake of fire. This is where the nuclear holocaust is going to be. Then we go around the earth, rounding up the rest of our brothers, rounding up our slaves, the elites of the other nations. All these low-level heathens, they're just going to get put to death. The Most High want us to have the elites from these other nations in chains, because that'll be a great feeling. And I mean, just having six-pack Joe for a slave, that's not good enough. We need a heathen who thought he was on a level, who conspired against the other heathens to keep us blinded and take us down. Yeah, we need the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, those that thought they were gods. But let me finish this. I'm gonna read it again. Jeremiah 3:18. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for inheritance unto your fathers. Now, if those Jews are the real Jews in Israel, then they're saying that this is a fulfillment of prophecy. So they say that they were taken from Russia, put on a plane, and went back to Israel.
Yeah, well, where is the Northern Kingdom?
Right, but then on top of that, doesn't it say that they would be in peace? They're not in peace over.
So when this prophecy is fulfilled, then that's when Jeremiah 31 is fulfilled. And then, matter of fact, real quick, which means you wouldn't have to teach the law. You're not going to be sinning no more. It's going to be in your genetic makeup, the law, statutes, and commandments. Right in Jeremiah 31. See? So they're saying that the new covenant is already established if they're saying that that prophecy is fulfilled. This is Jeremiah 31, verse 8, in the same chapter as the new covenant. Behold, I will bring them from the north country and gather them from the coast of the earth. See, they just went to Russia and got some Khazars who were suffering some oppression from Hitler, which is righteous because they're just scum rats anyway. And they got
I wish you would have killed more of them.
That's right. They got put on JetBlue and flew to Israel.
Come.
But watch this, and gather them from all the coasts of the earth. So they didn't go around the planet gathering Israel, Jews, them fake white Jews. They just went to Russia and got some Jews and put them on a plane and bought the state of Israel. But it says, and with them,
so stole
the state, you know, stole it.
Yeah, because they ain't getting Palestinians no damn money, you know.
It says, and with them the blind and lame, the woman with child, and her that travaileth with child together, a great company shall return thither. And also, too, real quick, just to further substantiate this, if that's fulfilled, then they would have been hunting. When we're gathered from the land of the north, that's when we're turned into hunters. All right, I'm gonna show you guys something. Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, that there shall be no more said, the Lord liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. But there's gonna come a time, if them white rats are saying that this is fulfilled, then nobody on the planet should be talking about Exodus anymore. We shouldn't be talking about Moses, Exodus, Egypt, captivity.
You shouldn't be keeping the Passover.
Right.
It's gonna be a whole new Passover.
So this prophecy ain't came to pass. They just made a movie about the Exodus. Verse 15, but the Lord liveth that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north. So this is the greatest Exodus, the second Exodus, which is the first resurrection. This is what we're going to be teaching our kids in the kingdom. The scriptures say America is going to be an everlasting memorial. The smoldering smoke is always going to be ascending to heaven from one end of this place to the other, from the East Coast to the West Coast. We're going to be flying our kids over here like this was Babylon. It was a glorious deliverance. It was a glorious destruction. This is going to be something that exceeds the deliverance of Egypt. All right. It says, and from all the lands, whither he had driven them, and I will bring them again into their land that I gave unto their fathers. But after this happened, what does he say? Behold, I will send for many fishers, saith the Lord, and they shall fish them. And after I will send for many hunters, and they shall hunt them from every mountain and from every hill and from out of the holes of the rocks. So after the deliverance from the land of the north, which is North America, then he's going to turn us into hunters, and we're going to gather all the heathens, and we're going to put them in captivity. So if the Jews, the fake Jews, are saying that this happened, then it's false, because they didn't go around the earth and gather nobody and put them in captivity. Furthermore, they don't even have no captives and slaves like the Bible said we would have when we're over in that land. Like the brother said, no peace, no slaves. They still got pork and gay parades. I'm talking to this girl from Israel, and she said the clubs are open on the Sabbath. I'm like, wow, the clubs are open on the Sabbath. She don't do nothing but talk about drugs. Oh, I got high. I popped a pill. My friend wants me to do acid. This is an Israelite woman.
Mind you, everybody know Ben Ami, right? This is one of the girls Ben Ami brought over there, or a descendant of the people that Ben Ami brought over there that he's talking to, that's telling her all of this, right? So they might as well have stayed in America.
I mean,
for that.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's like Her sisters have white Russian Jew boyfriends.
This dude then brought a host of Israelites to Israel for them to marry Edomites.
And be wicked. And she just wear the skimpiest stuff.
He showed me a picture of her in the club in Israel. I'm thinking this is a girl you met out here. You know what I'm saying? In Israel. Horrible. So but the kingdom is that's the kingdom now. It's established over there.
Right.
Be real. Let's go back to the book of Numbers and let's finish out that with Dathan and Korah.
This book of Numbers, chapter 16, and we were at 14. Moreover, thou hast not brought us into a land that flowed with milk and honey.
He said, look, this Reubenites like, look, man, we ain't in no plenteous land. We in the middle of damn nowhere, in the middle of Saudi Arabia somewhere. That's the wilderness of sin is mostly in what you call modern day Saudi Arabia, right, Reed?
Or giving us inheritance of fields and vineyards.
I thought we were supposed to go into a promised land. We ain't in no promised land. So now they like, man, you know, our people are impatient. So we sitting there looking like, man, you taking too long, man. You ain't bring us no damn where. Read.
It says, wilt thou put out the eyes of these men? We will not come up. And Moses was very wroth.
And Moses was mad as hell when you see how he was with his own tribe. He was trying to be kind of cool. These Reubenites tried to come. He said, man, look, man, you better shut the hell up. Right, go ahead.
It says, and Moses was very wroth and said unto the Lord, respect not thou their offering. It says, and respect not thou their offering. I have not taken one ass from them.
The Lord said, do not respect their offering. I mean, Moses said to the Lord, don't respect their offering. Meaning if these people come to sacrifice, their sacrifice is not welcome. It will not be respected. Their sin will not be forgiven. They are going to die. Right, Reed?
I have not taken one ass from them, neither have I hurt one of them. And Moses said unto Korah, be thou and all thy company before the Lord, thou and they and Aaron tomorrow, and take every man his censer and put incense in them, and bring ye before the Lord every man his censer, 250 censers. And it says, thou also and Aaron, each of you his censer. And they took every man his censer and put fire in them and laid incense thereon.
So you got Moses just set up a fight, a spiritual battle, 250 versus 1. He didn't say Aaron and Phineas and Eleazar. No, he just said just Aaron. We just gonna have Aaron versus all of you niggas. Everybody bring their censer, and we're gonna see whose incense the Lord accepts. Right? Read.
It says, and they took every man his censer and put fire in them and laid incense thereon, and stood in the door of the tabernacle of the congregation with Moses and Aaron.
Stood in the door of the tabernacle, right? The tent, as we spoke about before. Before we had an actual physical temple of stones, we had the tent temple, right? Read.
And Korah gathered all the congregation against them unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation. And the glory of the Lord appeared unto all the congregation.
Read.
And the Lord spake unto Moses and unto Aaron, saying, separate yourselves from among this congregation, that I may consume them in a moment.
So the Most High said, Moses and Aaron, y'all just going ahead and step to the side. These guys are dead. Right, Read.
And they fell upon their faces and said, O God, the God of the spirits of all flesh, shall one man sin, and will thou be wroth with all the congregation?
Read.
So
this is the question. Most High, just because Korah is off, you gonna kill all of these people? This is the type of compassion that Moses and Aaron had for their people. Understand that, right, Read?
It says, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, speak unto the congregation, saying, get you up from about the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram.
So he said, look, all right. Here's what we're going to do. You give them one more chance to leave these niggas, right? Read.
And Moses rose up and went unto Dathan and Abiram, and the elders of Israel followed him. And he spake unto the congregation, saying, depart, I pray you, from the tents of these wicked men, and touch nothing of theirs, lest ye be consumed in all their sins.
So just separate yourself from these wicked niggas, right? Read.
So they gate up from the tabernacle of Korah, Dathan, and Abiram on every side. And Dathan and Abiram came out and stood in the door of their tents, and their wives, and their sons, and their little children.
Wives, sons, and little children, right? Read.
And Moses said, hereby ye shall know that the Lord have sent me to do all these works, for I have not done them of mine own mind.
You're gonna know Yahweh is with me. I didn't think any of this to happen. The Most High chose me. I didn't want anything to do with any of this. He made me do it. Right? Read.
And if these men die, the common death of all men, or if thou be visited after the visitation of all men, then the Lord hath not sent me.
Meaning, what does that mean? If these men die the common death of all men, what's that mean?
If they die by, I guess, in war or by sickness and stuff.
If they just get old and die, the Lord ain't with me.
Yeah.
If these niggas die right now, I'm that guy. Right? Read.
It says,
go ahead and write me off if these dudes don't die right. These niggas gonna die. Good. Right? Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 30. But if the Lord make a new thing, and the earth open her mouth.
He said, not just a regular death. He said it's gonna be a new thing, meaning a thing we've never seen before. The earth is getting ready to open up like an earthquake in Alaska. Swallow them. It's going to be a new thing. The earth is going to eat these niggas. Look what Moses said, right? So if the Lord does this, you've never seen the earth open up before. Nigga, if the earth opens up and this happens just how I say it, you know who the Lord is with. If you didn't know after miracle, he already did. You idiots at this point. How dumb can you people be? But he got to give them another reminder, right? So go ahead.
It says, and swallow them up with all that appertain unto them.
With all that appertain unto them, meaning their belongings. Read.
And they go down quick into the pit. Then ye shall understand that these men have provoked the Lord.
Read.
It says, and it came to pass, as he had made an end of speaking all these words, that the ground clave asunder.
As soon as he got done talking, the ground clave asunder, meaning broke in half. Read.
That was under them. And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed them up.
Swallowed these men up. Read.
And their houses and all the men that appertain unto Korah and all their goods.
So basically everybody that followed in this rebellion and all their goods. Read.
They and all that appertain to them went down alive into the pit, and the earth closed upon them, and they perished from among the congregation.
Go ahead.
And all Israel that were round about them fled at the cry of them, for they said, lest the earth swallow us.
So naturally, what a Negro is going to do is turn around and take off once you see the hopes. I'm out. I'm gone, right? Go ahead.
And there came out a fire from the Lord and consumed the 250 men that offered incense.
And then here comes a fire from the Lord. How did the fire come down from the Lord? What is that describing? No, not a meteorite, but that's a good guess, because that's basically what destroyed laser beams. While we talked about the UFO, the chariot is following the congregation around. Yahweh Shai, who the world calls Christ, is following us around in the wilderness as the angel of the Lord. That's why we were going into the class when it says that we provoked Christ in the wilderness. What we were doing is because Christ was the angel that was following us. So when we would do something wrong, it would be him that, by orders of the Most High, would punish us, right? So Yahweh Shai is in his chariot and he consumed them with fire. The same way, give me that in Kings. I want to say it's 2 Kings 18. Dealing with Elijah. When the host kept coming up to Elijah and Elijah kept calling fire from heaven, and then he made the last one to see, and he seen the chariots of the Lord was above Elijah, and anybody that came near Elijah was going to get zapped. You see what I'm saying? This is how the Most High was working in this case. Though the chariot was cloaked and you couldn't see it, it still, it still was doing its thing. You see what I'm saying? 2 Kings, if you can find it for me real quick. I know 18 is when the history. No, 1 Kings 18 is when the history dealing with Elijah begins. 18 is the first chapter, but it goes on, I want to say, into 2 Kings. Let me see. 18. Elijah, Baal's prophets. Elijah's sacrifice. Elijah's sacrifice is another example of that. Who knows the story of Elijah's sacrifice? Y'all don't know Elijah's sacrifice?
Is that when it's like he was testing, the other people were testing him against his God, and it's like if the fire comes, flames up, you know what I'm saying? That my God is true. If your fire don't ignite, then y'all got it.
Exactly.
Is that what it was?
They challenged, well, he challenged them and their God. He challenged the prophets of Baal. And he said, what's it going to be? We're going to go, we're going to set up a sacrifice. I'm going to set up a sacrifice, and you're going to set up a sacrifice. And we ain't going to put no fire on that sacrifice. We're going to see whose God burns that sacrifice for himself. The Most High, of course, answered. He mocked the prophets of Baal. Said, where's your God? I guess Baal is sleeping. Maybe he went on a trip. I don't know what happened. You know, hilarious, right?
I got
But Elijah, when he said, Most High, call that fire down, because Elijah could see the chariots was right there. So the chariot burned that sacrifice, right? Go ahead.
It's book of 1 Kings 18 and 17. And it came to pass when Ahab saw Elijah, that Ahab said unto him, art thou he that troubleth Israel? And he answered, I have not troubled Israel, but thou in thy father's house.
I mean, he was raising a ruckus. This is how people feel when we on the streets teaching. Are y'all that troubleth Israel? You in the hood cursing everybody out? He said, no, you troubled Israel. All right, you troubled Israel by making us follow idols. You troubled Israel. Read.
It says, in that ye have forsaken the commandments of the Lord, and thou hast followed Baalim. It says, now therefore sin and gather to me all Israel unto Mount Carmel, and the prophets of Baal 450, and the prophets of groves 400, which eat at Jezebel's table. So Ahab sent unto the children of Israel, and gathered the prophets together unto Mount Carmel. And Elijah came unto all the people and said, How long hath ye between two opinions? If the Lord be God, follow him.
What does this mean? What does this mean? How long have thou been between two opinions? If the Lord be God, or if Yahweh be the power, then follow him. Go ahead.
But if Baal, then follow him.
Then follow him. Why is he saying this?
Because they're playing two sides of the fence.
We were worshiping the Most High, and we were worshiping an idol. We were worshiping Baal. The Northern Kingdom was doing this, right? We would recognize them. Okay, that Yahweh, that's the Most High. But I worship Baal too, though. You see what I'm saying? We were doing both things, right? Read.
It says, and the people answered him not a word. Then said Elijah unto the people, I, even I, only remain a prophet of the Lord, but Baal's prophets are 450 men. Let them therefore give us 2 bullocks, and let them choose 1 bullock for themselves, and cut it in pieces, and lay it on wood.
So he said, build your altar, get your bullock, do your thing, right? Read.
And put no fire under. And I will dress the other bullock and lay it on wood and put no fire under. And call ye on the name of your God.
Call on Baal, read.
And I will call on the name of the Lord, and the God that answered by fire.
I will call on the name of Yahweh. Make sure to put in Yahweh in this, all right? You got to read verbatim. Go ahead.
And call ye on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of Yahweh.
That's right. Go ahead.
And the God that answereth by fire, let him be God.
Let him be God. Listen, I'm gonna put he cut Israel, the Northern Kingdom, so bad with this. He said, look, we gonna just, y'all are worshiping Baal, you're confused. Let's just put an end to all this. We're going to build 2 sacrifices. Whichever God comes and burns that sacrifice, that's the only God, and that's who we need to serve. Cut the whole kingdom with it. You think they got right after that? We do miracles. We cut people. We show people they pastor. Christianity they have no idea what they're talking about. We show them thoroughly in the Bible. Does that make them come and keep the laws? Of course not. Of course not. Bazar Baria.
So in the sense of straddling the fence, that's like saying today we are aware of being Israelites, but we still celebrate Christmas.
Exactly. That would be the same thing, because it's not like they just totally had forsaken Yahweh at this point. They still acknowledge the Most High, and this is the God of Israel, because at the end of the day, every nation, all of our enemies round about us, tied us to Yahweh, period. When you read in the Moabite stone, it's talking about Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? Yahweh is the God of Israel. When some of the Egyptians, I believe it's in Karnak, the Karnak stone or something to that effect, one of them many Egyptian monuments that speak about Israel, there was they wrote that I have conquered Yahweh. I have defeated Yahweh. What they meant by that was they came and they defeated Israel in battle. So because they defeated Israel in battle, they said, I have defeated Yahweh. This is a war of gods. You see what I'm saying? But the only time you can defeat Yahweh, which you can't defeat Yahweh, but the only time you can defeat his people is if his people are in sin and going off anyway. And that's a punishment. So you can't actually defeat Yahweh. Yahweh decided who wins the battle. It says he mustereth the strength of the battle. You see what I'm saying? Sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Judah 5. They knew, they said, listen, if they're in sin, we'll be able to defeat them. If they're not in sin, we are getting ready to get our asses handed to us. You see what I'm saying? Moabite knew, because the Moabite is one of our closest neighbors. Around us, you got Moab, Ammon, Edom up under us. Then you got the Hamites to the west of us. To the east, Moab and Ammon. To the west, Ham. At the bottom, Esau. So those people know us the best. And they know who our God is. And they know how we get in. You see what I'm saying? So in understanding all that, they know if they are able to get a victory over us, it's simply because we were going off. But they always tied us to Yahweh, right? Read. Go ahead.
It says, and Elijah said unto the prophets of Baal, choose you one bullock for yourselves and dress it, for you are many, and call on the name of your gods and put no fire under it. And they took the bullock which was given them, and they dressed it, and called the name of Baal for morning, from morning even unto noon.
That's saying, right. From morning to noon, 4 hours. We're looking at, so we can understand about 6 hours time, from morning until noon. Morning begins around what, 6 a.m. to noon, 12 p.m. So we can understand it in modern times. About 12 hours time, they called to Baal to burn this sacrifice. And of course, he was nowhere because he's not real. Right, Reed?
Saying, O Baal, hear us. But there was no voice, nor any that answered, and they leaped upon the altar which was made.
They jumped on that altar. Read.
And it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked them and said.
So now when it's noon, after 6 hours of calling on a non-existent God, now Elijah, or Aliyah, which he came to defend the name of the Most High. Aliyah means my God is Yahweh. Yahweh is the power. That's his name. So he's coming to proclaim and establish that. So now he begins to mock these idolatrous priests, right, Reed?
It said, Elijah mocked them and said, cry aloud, for he is a God.
Cry aloud. He is a God. He said, cry aloud. Cry louder.
That's right.
Where is the great and mighty Baal to come and save you and make me look stupid? Cry aloud. And I'm going to show you something else that's funny. We're going to keep going into the history. Shalom. We're going to keep going into the history of this because this is heavy history. Real quick, we read this the other week at class. I'm going to go here to 2 Chronicles real quick. What is it? 12. So right here. Okay, so give me 2 Chronicles 11 and 14 to 15. Now, 2 Chronicles 11, 14 to 15. Just go ahead and have a seat. Go ahead and have a seat.
Second Chronicles what?
11, 14 to 15.
Gotcha. Book of 2 Chronicles, chapter 11, verse 14. For the Levites left their suburbs and their possession and came to Judah and Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto the Lord.
So we know the history. When the kingdom split, Jeroboam, the Ephraimite, so-called Puerto Rican king of the northern kingdom, took away the Levites' priestly duties in the north. They said, no, you're not going to execute the priest's office, because the Levites executed the priestly office to Yahweh. Jeroboam did not want to worship Yahweh. He wanted to worship Baal. This is where the Baal worship started in the north. So this is the problem that Elijah is dealing with during this time that we're reading about, right? Read.
Verse 15. And he ordained him priest for the high places.
For the high places, the places to Baal, read on.
And for the devils. And for the calves, and for the calves which he had made.
Exactly. So he ordained priests of the high places who were not Levites. So now Elijah's going back into the north, a Levite. He's going back into the north to deal with this problem that Jeroboam started. All y'all are priests, all y'all are worshipers of Baal. Call on your God and see if he can't burn a sacrifice, right? Now, he built an altar and he laid out a sacrifice, which is something only who can do? A Levite. Only a Levite can do that, right? So go ahead.
Going back.
So he's coming to correct the priesthood in this instance, right? Read.
Going back, it says, and it came to pass at noon that Elijah mocked him and said, cry aloud, for he is a God. Either he is talking or he is pursuing.
Look, you know what, Baal, he's on the phone. He's talking to somebody. Or he's pursuing somebody. He's chasing some broad somewhere, Baal, your God. Right, Reed?
Or he is in a journey.
He's far away. He's on a trip. You know, he went to Vegas, man. I don't know what happened to Baal. Right? Right, about vacay, right? Reed?
Or peradventure he sleepeth.
Maybe he sleep. You know what? He took a nap, man. He had a long night.
And must be awaked.
Somebody got to wake him up. He got an alarm clock. Somebody call him. Read.
And they cried aloud and cut themselves.
They cut themselves
after their manner.
After their manner, because it was a manner of the prophets of Baal to cut themselves. This is the northern kingdom. Do the northern kingdom cut themselves? Do the northern kingdom tattoo their whole goddamn face? You go down to El Salvador, this brother from the tribe of Zebulon, you go down to El Salvador, places like that, MS-13 got a million tattoos all over their damn face. Issachar do it too, Ephraim to a degree. Now the southern kingdom has began to do it, but you go into the 70s and 80s, you ain't gonna see no Negro walking around with no tattoo on his face. You see what I'm saying? 2016, and they got this whole, what's this rapper, Jose Guapo? This nigga got 22 tattoos on his damn face, looking like an idiot, right? But this is, they cut themselves. You see what I'm saying? Because that's a Baal thing. Remember in the law, that's why I said, don't cut yourself. You see what I'm saying? It said, don't make markers on your flesh, because this is what the heathens did to their gods. Our people have picked this up, right? So go ahead.
It says, and they cried aloud and cut themselves after their manner with knives and lancers till the blood gushed out upon them.
They were just bleeding, just cutting themselves. What type of sick religion are they into? You'd rather do that than serve the Most High? Be in a religion where you have to cut yourself? That's retarded, right? So go ahead.
That shows you the lengths that our people will go to not follow the Most High. They think they want to talk about how hard it is to follow the laws of the Most High, yet you would follow something that makes you inflict such pain on yourself.
I like that essay that came up to camera. I hope y'all see it. Most High will. I'm gonna get that video up soon. When he said, "Yeah, if I kill you on accident, then if I find somebody that looks like you and I kill them, and I go put them in the desert where I said, you mean to tell me that if you commit manslaughter on somebody, you accidentally kill somebody you ain't mean to kill, you have to go scour the earth to find a nigga that looked enough like them that's acceptable, then go out of your way to kill them and bring them to some secret place? That's how you worship Santa Muerta, the tribe of Issachar. How dumb is that? What type of idiotic religion are you into? How about if you accidentally kill somebody, the Most High God had a system for that already set up. It's called a city of refuge. You're a manslayer, you go into a city of refuge. It was an accident. The Most High understood the intent of your heart. You go into the city of refuge until the high priest who would put you to death dies, and you'll be all right. Or you die first, whichever one happens. Instead, no, you have to go hunt for another person and take 2 lives, and then go bury this nigga somewhere.
So now you gotta move the body all over the ground.
Listen, that sounds like a whole lot of work to serve the Grim Reaper on a candle. Right? I seen the Santa Muerta candle. We had to ask him. I had no idea what Santa Muerta was about. When he told me that baloney, you're into that? That's what you're into, man? You're a joke, man. That's why I said, Levi, man, the type of witchcraft we doing, this is a correct witchcraft is child's play. That's just making, that's fake. You see what I'm saying? Jake gotta get real, right? But that's when Jeroboam did what he did and set up the priests of the high places out of the tribes. This is what you got. You got the you know what they call it, the magic, the SICARRI magic. Y'all got a name for it? Santeria, Brujeria, all the various the Latin adaptations or versions of black magic You see what I'm saying? This is where you get it from. You get it from when Jeroboam ordained priests of the high places.
So that bullshit that they was doing on next day
That they was doing on next day, the Dio de los Muertos, all that. That's why we tell the story. This brother was there. The Ephraimite woman, once they told the Ephraimite woman that I was Haitian, she was saying she did Santeria. So then they said, well, he's Haitian. She said, well, can you do voodoo? Can you teach me voodoo? Can you make a voodoo doll? Remember she asked me to make a voodoo doll? I said, man, I worship most. I don't do none of that. But the Latin tribe, they get around Levi. I said, oh, this nigga, he do the ill magic. I'm trying to get with on his magic level. You see what I'm saying? That the Mexicans accepting and saying, look, you're going to teach us how to come on a level. This Santa Muerta, this ain't enough. We got to come and start worshiping Baron Samedi and Baron Samatuli, all them various voodoo deities. You see what I'm saying? All satanic as hell. So Elijah was coming to correct all of that and reestablish the priesthood of the Most High amongst the northern kingdom, which of course they rejected for Baal. The same way now they reject some northern kingdom reject the truth to serve Caesar Borgia or Santa Muerta in the case of that essay that came by or whatever. You see what I'm saying, right? So go ahead.
First Kings, it says, and it came to pass when midday was past, that they prophesied until the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice, that there was neither voice,
which is 6 p.m. now. So literally, we have about 12 hours or half a day has gone by without their sacrifice occurring. So the Most High, he's doing it cold. He wait till nighttime. When you see that chariot shoot them laser beams out of it, it's gonna look magnificent, like a damn summertime baseball fireworks show, like 4th of damn July. He gonna make it look like. Read. Excuse me. Go ahead.
That there was neither voice nor any to answer, nor any that regarded. And Elijah said unto all the people, come near unto me.
He's always saying, so all right, everybody, we didn't let these niggas go for 12 hours. Their God is not real. So now everybody come watch this, right? Read.
And all the people came near unto him, and he repaired the altar of the Lord that was broken down.
That's right, because he went to that altar. So they broke the altar of Yahweh to build this altar in this land. Go ahead.
And Elijah took 12 stones.
He took 12 stones, which represent the nations, right? Read.
According to the number of the tribes of the sons of Jacob, unto whom the word of the Lord came, saying, Israel shall be thy name.
Read on.
It says, and with the stones he built the altar in the name of the Lord.
In the name of Yahweh. Read.
And he made a trench about the altar, as great as would contain 2 measures of seed. And he put the wood in order, and cut the bullock in pieces.
Put the wood in order, meaning he built it as the law says to build. Right, read.
And laid him on the wood, and said, fill 4 barrels with water, and pour it on the burnt sacrifice on the wood. And he said, do it the second time. And they did it the second time. And he said, do it a third time. And they did it the third time.
So he's making the people pour the water, right? Read.
And the water ran about the altar, and he filled the trench also with water. And it came to pass at the time of the offering of the evening sacrifice that Elijah the prophet came near and said, Yahweh, the power of Abraham, Isaac, and of Israel, let it be known this day that thou art the power in Israel, and that I am thy servant, and that I have done all these things at thy word.
Same thing like when Moses, that's why that's the prophets, they are able to do these great things, to call fire down from heaven and things like that. Not of their own will, but because the Most High is dealing with them on this level. He says, show them that you are the Most High, and show them that I am the one that you sent unto them, right? Read.
It says, hear me, O Lord, hear me, that this people may know that thou art Yahweh, and that thou hast turned their heart back again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice.
Right. Fire of the Lord fell again. These are chariots, just beaming it down, beaming fire from the chariots, or how you would see a damn like a scene out of Star Wars Rogue One. Somebody may have seen. Who's seen World One in the room? Ibaja, you ever seen Rogue One? That's a crime in the earth. The God out of one, Officer you die, you have seen Rogue One. So where there's spaceships flying around shooting laser beams at people. All right, well, this is a similar scenario, but the difference is though, nobody could see it, could see the ship. The ship is in a cloak. It's cloaked itself, right? So read.
You can see, so like, you can see videos out there where the chariots actually materialize. You won't see them, then you'll see them.
Well, there's
scripture.
There's a video. There's a video of us going to you know, we came up against a police agency, a local law enforcement agency, and the chariot, you know, it did exactly that. You know, hey, you can say, or many believe that that's what happened. You know, and it does look like that, right? But go ahead.
Let me bring this out. Isaiah, the reason why the chariots can materialize because they're spirits.
That's right. That's right.
Actual vehicles.
That's right.
Spirit.
It's actual spirit.
Isaiah 31:3. See, some people say your car has a spirit. Only the chariots have a spirit.
That's right.
It says, now the Egyptians are men and not God. And their horse is flesh and not spirit. And that's why when Ezekiel, and this is going to show you that their chariots, they're man-made flesh, wood, stone, brass, not spiritual vessels like the angels drive. And that's why Ezekiel said, when he see the chariots, he said, wherever they thought to go, they went. They don't turn into, they move like this. They don't have to go and, like, you know. They can stop, reverse them in there, go change in size. We've seen the videos. Everybody's seen the videos. You see what I'm saying? They can do what, like the brother said, whatever the pilot is thinking about, it just happens. Meanwhile, you gotta put your joint in gear, drive, turn. You ain't gotta do nothing. All you have to do is think as a pilot of chariot by America.
I was gonna go back to when I be watching the History Channel. They got this thing called Ancient Aliens, and they refer the Bible to aliens and so on and so forth.
Of course, yeah.
Chariot and all that. Since it's like they know.
Yeah, they know. There's a lot of Ancient Aliens has a lot of propaganda on it.
Yeah.
But they also have some good information and truth. Just like, I mean, with anything Esau does, his history, you watch it, and when you understand the scriptures, you're able to say, okay, that's BS, and you pick out the meat and you chew the bones. Like they did the SICARRI documentary on what is that? Ancient Black Ops, right? Now they showing Arabs or Edomites every time they talking about it, but we know that was us back there. You see what I'm saying? Of course, during that time period, we hadn't been expelled out of Israel yet. That was going right up until the point of our expulsion. You see what I'm saying? So you need to just know how to always chew meat and spit the bones out, because there's good information in history that you can gather that Esau puts out amongst the nonsense he also puts out. You know the Shroud of Turin is fake. You see what I'm saying? But in the presentation on the Shroud of Turin, you may learn some information. You see what I'm saying? So it's not bad to watch these things. Look at these things, scrutinize these things, take what you can from them. Also, even if you can't get anything out of it for yourself to add into your arsenal, what you do is you build up your defenses. Because now you know, okay, I know that argument. So now when somebody comes up and tries to hit you with that argument, you know how to combat that argument because you're already familiar with it. It's not anything new. Somebody come out talk about, man, the Shroud of Turin, they had the cloth with Jesus' face on it, you know, or whatever they talking about. You see what I'm saying? And you know you're able to say, nah, I already know all about that. And you study it. When you study it, even what's funny is the History Channel, sometimes they'll keep it so 100, they'll give you the information to say, yeah, well, you know, they'll be presenting it and people will be talking about it like it's real. Then you'll have the people say, nah, we tested it. That's weaved together different materials from different time periods, and it's clearly a hoax, etc., etc. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead back in that.
It says, who's that, 38? Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice and the wood and the stones.
Yes, sir.
And the dust, and licked up the water that was in the trench.
And it burnt that water up. Read.
Yeah, because when you go back and if you listen, it says pour it on everything. So he soaked everything in water, and it still was consumed with fire.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he made it harder.
Ain't that how you supposed to fireproof? Put the water all on your roof and whatnot. Yeah, he says it's still gonna burn it up.
That's right.
Everything, right? Read.
Verse 39. And when all the people saw it,
what a miraculous event to witness. You see what I'm saying? Read.
And when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces and they said, the Lord, or it says Yahweh, he is the God. Yahweh, he is the God.
Because what did Yahweh Shai say in the New Testament? Who can think about what I'm thinking about? At the desk, y'all can answer too. Yahweh Shai said something at the New Testament that's cold to this point. What was it? And now, you know, it might not have been Yahweh Shai, but it's in the New Testament.
I was gonna say that you threw me off when you said it's not him, but I was gonna say where it says that they look for a sign.
The Jews require a sign.
Ooh, Bayan, everybody give it up to this show, bro.
This brother, man, he's on the way up. He's on the way up. Y'all, yeah. Hey, you sold as an officer's lookout. Okay, this man is on your heel. But so he been discipled, right? So but basically they require a sign. So Yahweh, knowing that, sent Elijah in there, and he did that, and they said, okay, Yahweh is the power, even though you did so many things for you. You want another sign? Well, here it is. The Most High Yahweh has revealed himself, who his prophet is, who the God, the only living God is. It's clear right there. But we got to think about this. We're in America right now. We're in Babylon. We're in hell. We're in captivity right now. How wicked do we have to have been to have seen all of this and still get expelled out of the land and kicked to the other side of the world? How wicked were we?
Well, the same way we was talking about earlier, how they wanted to go back to Egypt after seeing a whole body of water rise up, dead fish flapping, crab.
They got the aquarium.
Crab flapping.
Right? Okay. 10 plagues. You saw all the firstborn of Egypt die in one night. All of them. You saw this, and you still of the beast and man.
Yeah, if I can say this too, dealing with the second wilderness that we went into a few months ago, it says that some Jake, even after being delivered by UFOs, ain't gonna want to get down.
I can believe it,
and that's because we've seen it before.
Because yeah, exactly. At first, the first thing I said to that was, "Come on, man! You mean to tell me you get put on a chariot and you get delivered and you still not gonna get it? Come on, man!" But then when we thought about it, it's like we did that already. You see what I'm saying? It's like who's seen the movie Predators? Not Predator, Predators, plural. You've seen it, you die with what's that? Adrian Brody with the big ass nose.
Yeah, God.
They get abducted from Earth and brought to this hunting range planet that the Predator got, right? So they're like, damn, they're sitting here thinking they're on Earth, but it was the Zebulonite sister. She was inquisitive enough to where she's looking around and she's like, nah, this ain't the Amazon. This ain't Africa. This ain't Asia. This ain't Earth. Look at the water. You see what I'm saying?
Right there.
Exactly, right? But nobody or a lot of everybody else, I want to say the sister and the Hamite and maybe the Edomite, but the whole rest of the crew, they just thinking they can't believe it. You are somewhere. You literally get beamed from one place to another, and you're not bearing witness to what's going on clearly in front of your face, that you're on an alien planet and aliens are hunting you like you're a damn animal. You see what I'm saying? You're not realizing what's going on. Of course, they put the Jake woman in there. Of course, she knew what was going on immediately, but everybody else was in denial. Even the Jakes that was there, because you had the ISRAELITE, you had Machete that was there too. You see what I'm saying? He's just trying to kill people. You see what I'm saying? Not realizing, no, this is something that's seriously going on. Our people are going to be the exact same way, sir.
That goes into like, now like that goes into Most High seared their mind.
Consciousness seared with a hot iron. You see what I'm saying? That's it. That's a great point, right? Their mind is they're just been given up to a reprobate mind. He has chosen their delusions. They don't know what the hell is going on. You see what I'm saying? They just don't want to know. It's Christmas. No, Jesus is white. This is what we do. Church is on Sunday. The law is done away with. I'm a Hamite. You see what I'm saying? We're Gentiles. Our people just don't want to get that up. You see what I'm saying? They've just been totally reprobate. So what's going to have to happen to them in the wilderness? Same thing that happened to Dathan and Korah. They're going to be killed in the wilderness when we go back into it, right? So keep going on that.
It says, verse 40, and Elijah said unto them, take the prophets of Baal, let not one of them escape.
He said, y'all believe in Yahweh now? All right, cool. Kill all of these niggas. Most High ain't gonna have them, gather them up right now. Read.
And they took them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon, and slew them there.
And slew them. Elijah brought them down and killed them.
And we wish we could do that, man. If we could do that right now with everybody bucking up at camp and on Facebook, man, that'd just be great. Oh, you don't believe me?
Hey, but hey, no, but why? Who can tell me why we can't do that? Bazak Barriah, because there's grace. Because that person still has time to repent. Just like you deserve to be took some damn where and killed, and you weren't. You see them? That's the only difference between now and then. Then, nah, you die. You see what I'm saying? You should have known better when I challenged you to this contest not to worship this God, because you know damn good and well that that God you serve is not real. You think them niggas ain't know that? That's when you deal with Bel and the dragon in the Apocrypha. Bel and the dragon in the Apocrypha. Who can tell me about Bel and the dragon in the Apocrypha?
Yeah.
Who can tell me about it? Tell me the story. Who got the story?
The king at the time, he was sitting there telling everybody, the priest, they was giving food, and they was telling everybody that they couldn't, that this is how you gotta praise him. But Daniel wasn't going for that, so he was like, man, I bet you I can kill you. I can kill y'all dragon. So that's what
you got the story jumbled and mixed up. Bizarre.
Well,
well,
come on, Benjamin. Come on, Benjamin. Redeem other Benjamin.
Bel and the dragon. Bel was.
Who is Bel? Who? No. The dragon is different than Bel. Two different gods, story, right? But who is Bel?
Was that the thing where they had the people bringing the food to?
The food. What about the food? The water.
Sure.
That's when Daniel was like, I worship the one true living God.
Yeah, he said that. But tell me the story. I need the story.
All right, I got you.
If anybody don't know the story, it's all right.
Yeah.
But here's the point. The priests of Baal know Baal is not real.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because when you bring Baal a sacrifice, they eat it because they know that idol can't eat. It's a racket. That's all it is. It's a scam. That's what the priesthood of Baal is. It's a scam, right? The Most High told you, look, when you bring a sacrifice, these priests, they're going to eat it. It's not a mystery to you that the priest is going to eat it. These niggas is telling you that this wooden idol or this golden idol is going to consume food. You see what I'm saying? That's a scam. And your dumb ass believed it. So these priests, Elijah challenged them, and they're so evil and wicked and proud and sinful that they said, oh yeah, we'll take the challenge. Nigga, you know your God ain't real. You know this is a scam for you to feed your damn family. You're not a Levite, so you put away the Levites so you can have right to have a priesthood, so you can make everybody give you food and 10%, or they're probably charging 30% or whatever you're making. Thing is, you can't do that to Yahweh. So what do you have to do? You have to make a fake God and do it to a fake God. You see what I'm saying? So they dumbasses knew that, but they're so evil and wicked and proud. Most High hardened their hearts to show this to the people that they took the challenge and for 12 hours continuously called on a God that they knew damn good and well was not real. This is crazy. Bazak. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add that, yeah. So when they came to, when Daniel came to the entrance of the place, he said, well, look down at the floor. You can see the footprints.
Yeah, because he put the dust on the floor. Yeah. So he said, look, these niggas came in here and ate it. And that's when then they killed all the children, right? Because Nebuchadnezzar found out my God ain't real, right? Then what happened after that? Nebuchadnezzar did what?
Said that our God is the real God.
He said that, but he did something after that.
He made Daniel high in the spot.
Now Daniel was already high. Why do you think he was able to have the conversation with him? The regular nigga is not going. You're not going to just be able to go talk to Obama. You got to be on a certain level, right? You got to be damn the LeBron James to go talk to Obama, right? Or Jay-Z. So what did the Nebuchadnezzar do after that, Abijah? Not yet. That happened when he got destroyed, when his kingdom got destroyed. What he did after that is found in the book of Daniel, which he made himself a god. He found out his God wasn't real. So then what did he do? He made a god. He made himself a god. The vision that he saw that Daniel broke his dream down. You see? So go ahead.
Verse 41, and Elijah said unto Ahab, get thee up, eat and drink, for there is a sound of abundance of rain. It says, so Ahab went up to eat and to drink.
Oh, that's it on that. Give me 1 Kings 2 and 2 Kings, Salaki, 1 and 10. 2 Kings 1 and 10. So this is the point I really wanted in it. But it's good to go off into this history and this class, break it all down. You know, it's all good. So yeah, give me that 2 Kings 1 and 10 and read down.
2 Kings chapter 1 verse 10. And Elijah answered and said to the captain of 50, if I be a man of God, then let fire come down from heaven and consume thee and thy 50 that are came down. It's like, and thy 50.
Now he's doing it again. Y'all want to test me. This is a captain of 50. What does that mean? He's a captain of 50. What does that imply and entail? 50 people are with him when he comes. 50 men is coming to confront Elijah. He said, all right, if I'm a man of God, you're all going to die. The Lord is going to consume thee with fire. Read.
And there came down fire from heaven and consumed him and his 50.
The chariot was sitting above him and blasted them. Right? Read.
Again also, he sent unto him another captain of 50.
Here come another 50 men. Read.
With his 50. And he answered and said unto him, O man of God, thus hath the king said, come down quickly.
Come down. Who is the king? Come on. Who's the king at this time? Last passage we read, his name was all in it. No. Nebuchadnezzar does not exist yet. Tobias. Isaiah. No. Who got it? Come on. Come on. This is one of the most. Who is the worst woman in the Bible? Ahab. There you go. Ahab. Ahab, Jezebel's wife. What is Jezebel, for the record, for a bonus point? Who? A slut? A slut? She's a Hamite. She's a Hamite. This Puerto Rican Latin lover, all right, Ahab, you know what they say about the Puerto Ricans, all right? We ain't got to get into that. He falls madly in love with this Hamite woman, and this Hamite woman is who influenced him further into the idolatry of Baal, because her being a Canaanite, that's who she worships, right? So Ahab is being ran by his woman, Jezebel, a heathen Hamite, to kill Elijah, right? So this is why these officers are coming saying, get ye down, Elijah, come with us, the king requesteth you, right? They're trying to kill Elijah. Read.
It says, and Elijah answered and said unto him, no, verse 13, and he sent again a captain of the third 50.
So it's 100. So he didn't burn up 100 people at this point, right? Read.
No. It says, with his 50, and the third captain of the 50 went up and said, and came and fell on his knees before Elijah.
This man has smarts. He got orders, but he's not stupid. So he came on his knees first and foremost. Read.
And besought him and said unto him.
Besought him. He's not telling him what to do. He's beseeching him. And in essence, he's praying to Elijah right now. Read.
O man of God, I pray thee.
He's already identified him as a man of God. Because what did Elijah say to the previous host? If I be a man of God, then the Lord is going to kill you, right? He's man of God, right? Read.
I pray thee, let my life.
Please, let my life. Read.
It says, listen to this. Let my life and the life of these 50 thy servants.
He said, listen, we are thy servants, man.
That's right.
We are your servants. And I love these men. I love the Most High. I love you, Elijah. Please don't kill us like you did the last 100 niggas that came up to you. Go ahead.
It says, be precious in thy sight.
Let our life be precious. Right? Read.
Verse 14, behold, there came fire down from heaven and burnt up the two captains of the former 50s with their 50s. Therefore, let my life now be precious in thy sight.
He said, look, I know what you did to the last 100 niggas that came up to you. Listen, don't do that to us. Please, please, please. Go ahead.
And the angel of the Lord said unto Elijah, go down with him. Be not afraid of him. And he arose and went down with him.
So the angel is communicating with him from the chariot.
That's right.
What is that called? What is that form of communication called? Telepathy or telekinesis. You see what I'm saying? They're telepathically communicating from the chariot to Elijah. All right, you can go with him. Listen, don't worry about that. We got you. We're here. You know what I mean? They niggas don't see us, but little do you know, I'm in the bushes on you, nigga. You know? So go ahead.
And he said unto him, thus said Yahweh, for as much as thou hast sent messengers to inquire of Baalzebub, the god of Ekron.
The god of Ekron. Ekron is whose capital? Whose capital is Ekron? Come on, man. Nobody know Ekron's capital? You got to get into your ancient geography. Ekron's capital of the Philistines. They have Ekron. They have Gaza. You hear about Gaza in the news, the Gaza Strip, where they put all the Philistines who are pretending to be, or the Palestinians who are pretending to be Philistines. The Jews, of course, are pretending to be Gaza, Ekron, and Ashdod. Those are the capitals of the Philistines. All right. What nation of people do the Philistines descend out of? Egypt. You die. They are of Mizraim. They are Egyptians that started a colony in what's called the Levant, or the area of Israel, right? So read.
It says, and he said unto them, thus said Yahweh, for as much as thou hast sent messengers to inquire of Baalzebub, the god of Ekron, is it not because there is no God in Israel to inquire of his word?
He said, you sending messengers to Ekron, where the temple or the capital of worship of Baal is. You send messengers there as if you don't have a God, right? Read.
Therefore thou shalt not come down.
Just like you have a simple nigga that'll take a Hajj to Mecca to go and encircle that damn cobblestone 7 times as if you don't have a God. You done went all the way to damn Saudi Arabia to worship a God when you have a God anywhere in the world you are. Our people are crazy. An ox and a donkey knows who his master is. But our people don't even think about who our God is. Don't even consider. Go ahead.
It says, therefore, thou shalt not come down off the bed on which thou art gone up, but shalt surely die. So he died according to the word of the Lord, which Elijah had spoken.
He pronounced death. Read.
And Jehoram reigned in his stead.
Meaning what? Meaning you have gone up into your bed. What does that mean? No. What does it mean he have gone up into? Read it again.
It says, and he said unto him, thus saith the Lord, for as much as thou hast sent messengers to inquire of Baalzebub, the god of Ekron, is it not because there is no God in Israel to inquire of his word? Therefore, thou shalt not come down off that bed on which thou art gone up.
What does that mean? Maracaz, you got it? Bazaar.
Is it just like, you made your bed, now you're laying in it or something?
No. Who got it? Come on, man. Who got a jump shot for me? Why do you get in bed? What else do you get in bed for? What else do you get in bed for?
You lay down and fornicated with another guy.
What else do you get in bed with? Why else do you go in bed? Come on. We all said it. He's sick. You got sick, so you went into a sick bed, and Elijah said you're going to die from that sickness. That's what he's telling him. You're going to die from the sickness that you've got. This is a terminal illness that the Most High has given you because of your idolatry. Because you refused to serve Yahweh. You wanted to serve the God of the Philistines, Baal. You have a sickness. That sickness will kill you. Right? Read.
Verse 17. So he died according to the word of the Lord, which Elijah had spoken. And Jehoram reigned in his stead in the 2nd year of Jehoram, the son of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, because he had no son. Now, the rest of the acts of...
That's all right on that. Let's go back to Numbers now. Let's finish that out. We got to do Numbers, then we got to get back to Psalm 45. So go ahead.
We was at number 16, right?
Where was we at there?
We was at
Fire.
shit.
No, we was way deep in it. We're fire.
We had already finished it. Did we already finish it?
No,
we was
definitely
in King.
didn't.
We was in King.
Yeah.
King.
Mhm.
I got you. Dathan, because this is where he's getting out. Where we're
37.
Nah. We wouldn't that
We
far.
went through the part where it says that's wrong.
Yeah.
We went through that.
36. Earth swallowed them up, and they was burned by fire, consumed by the fire, and that's what led us even on that. So we had 36.
10 to 36.
16 and 36.
Numbers chapter 16, verse 36. And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron the priest, that he take up the censers out of the burning, and scatter thou the fire yonder, for they are hollow.
Right, go ahead. So scatter it yonder because it's hollow. Read.
It says the censers of these sinners against their own souls, let them make them broad plates for the covering of their altar, for they offered them before the Lord. Therefore they are hallowed, and they shall be a sign unto the children of Israel.
What does that mean? What does that mean they are hollow? No, that's literally hollow. What does it mean hollow? Abijah. Holy. He said, this is holy, them censers that them wicked men had. And we're going to use it as a symbol of what not to do. Another sign of what not to do for the people. We're going to count those as holy. So Eleazar had to go and collect those things, right? Now notice, you don't hear about Eleazar in the whole story. That's going back to what I was saying earlier. It was 1 verse 250. He didn't call the sons of Aaron to be a part of it. It was just Aaron versus all of those wicked, rebellious Negroes at that time, right? Go ahead.
And Eleazar the priest took the brazen censer wherewith they that were burnt had offered, and they were made broad plates for the covering of the altar, to be a memorial to the children of Israel.
So we took that, we put that on the altar, right? The brazen altar. Read.
That no stranger.
What is the brazen altar? What is the brazen altar used for? To sacrifice, right? What is there another altar in the temple? Yes. What is that altar? You don't know. Good answer. Who else? Who got it? Well, there's 2 altars in the temple, Abijah. That's not an altar. There's an altar before that. There's an altar before it, then you have a veil, then you walk through the veil, you go through the Holy of Holies. The smoke bellows from one altar into the Holy of Holies. Right? We should all know this. Anybody got it?
The peace altar.
What is a peace altar? What would a peace altar be used for?
Between you and the Lord, for an offering, or that would still
What would you do on that altar?
pray sacrifice. So
You would sacrifice. What kind of sacrificing would you do?
Animal sacrifice.
No, that's what the brazen altar is for. It's the incense altar. The incense altar is made out of gold. The brazen altar that you burn flesh on is made out of brass. What does that tell you? One's made. What's more precious metal, gold or? So which altar is better? Gold altar is better because prayer is more acceptable than animal sacrifice, which is all over the Bible from the Old Testament to the New Testament. Right? That's what our sacrifice now, of course, is making our bodies as living sacrifices and the prayer. That's why in the book of Revelation, it said the angel had the incense altar, and that symbolized, it says right in Revelations, this is the prayers of the saints. And they bellow up to the Most High through the veil, which is Yahweh Shai. All right, that's why we pray to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Go ahead.
Verse 40, to be a memorial unto the children of Israel, that no stranger, which is not of the seed of Aaron, come near to offer incense before the Lord.
This is what it's all about. If you're not of the seed of Aaron, you don't offer incense. Now, the rest of the Kohathites could no longer offer incense unto the Most High. No more. Your job is different. This is why it says, do not let the Kohathites be cut off from Levi. We got to find a new job for them to do, right? And what is their new job? Everybody that was here in the beginning should know that. What is the new job of the Kohathites? Abijah. To write music. They are the psalmists now. That's why these psalms are done by the sons of Korah. because they have been taken away from bringing incense. Only Aaron's sons can bring incense. They need a new job. They're going to sing.
The reason why their job got taken away is because of Korah.
Because of Korah. But we're going to read it. It's going to tell you that, you know, they spared the children. So SICARRI. Because the Most High requires that to praise him. He loves the sound of the songs unto him in the book of Psalms. That's how you get the book of Psalms. The Levites and David wrote them, right? Any other questions on the topic? Okay, go ahead.
That he be not as Korah and his company, and as his company, as the Lord said to him by the hand of Moses. But on the morrow, all the congregation of the children of Israel murmured against Moses and against Aaron, saying, "Ye have killed the people of the Lord."
This is imagine the frustration of Moses at this point. You just saw 250 people come against me. You just saw the Most High open the earth, swallow them, and fire come from heaven and murder these people. Not murder, kill these men, justly and rightfully. And the next day, y'all already talking shit. That's what it means to murmur. Let's not get it twisted. Murmuring, they're talking shit, for lack of a better term, right? That's what's going on. You already gonna do that? How foolish are our people at this point? The Jews require a sign, and you get a sign, and the sign ain't good enough. Just like when people come up to camp and we cut them, we show them all the proof that we the Israelites, Yahushua is black man, all these various things, they still don't believe. You are an idiot. You are a stiff-necked, wicked, satanic monster. That's all you are. And that's what you are going to continue to be. All right? That's why the Most High got to give our people fleshy hearts, new hearts, because we have hearts of stone, and we had them from here. We had uncircumcised hearts from here, right? So read.
And it came to pass when the congregation was gathered against Moses and against Aaron, that they looked toward the tabernacle of the congregation, and behold, the cloud covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared.
The cloud covered it. What is the cloud? The chariot covered it, and the glory of the Lord appeared. Read.
And Moses and Aaron came before the tabernacle of the congregation, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell on their faces.
He's on the Most High, like, I'll just kill these. These niggas keep talking. I don't know, like, people, they don't know God. And we tell people this all the time. You have no idea about the Most High. You don't know who you're dealing with. A dude that's like, all right, watch out, I'm just gonna kill these. That they just gotta go. They're just no good. Let's just wipe them out. These people not realizing who the Most High is. So go ahead. Go ahead.
It says, and we were at 44, and the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Get you up from among this congregation, that I may consume them as in a moment. And they fell upon their faces. And Moses said unto Aaron, Take a censer and put fire therein from off the altar, and put on incense, and go quickly unto the congregation and make an atonement for them. It says, For there is wrath gone out from the Lord, the plague is begun.
So this is proof that what? What's the point I just made in regards to prayer? Shalom. You said what? Khan. What's the point I just made about the incense altar? It was greater than animal sacrifice, which is why what? Shalom. Which is why what? Moses didn't say, Aaron, go and get a bull and sacrifice it on an altar. He said, go and get the incense and offer it, because the plague has begun. What's the plague that began?
Not the fire from the Most High.
You said what?
Not the fire from the Most High.
Well, you can say that it's a death angel. The plague that's happening is the Most High is killing Israelites. Just niggas is dropping like flies. Who knows another time in history that this occurred? Deacon, give him the answer. The numbering of Israel. When David numbered Israel, the Most High immediately sent an angel to begin killing Israelites and dropping Israelites like flies. Come.
Who just said
dropping
that?
Israelites like flies? Hakah said it.
No. Yadai said another one in Egypt.
Well, that
Passover.
that was a death angel in that instance, but that's not that. And that was a plague of Egypt, so that is true. The time I was thinking about was David though, but that is correct. Real quick, I want to locate this this precept here in Psalms. Where is it at? It's right here in Psalms. Psalms 141:2.
Psalms 141:2. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as an incense. Before thee as incense.
Let my prayer be set before thee as incense. So that's what's likening prayer unto incense. That's what's going on. So that's why prayer is better than animal sacrifice. Read.
Lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice.
You see that? As the evening sacrifice. I want to say there's another one. You said what?
I said the point.
No, there's another one. There's a prayer that says that it's better than animal sacrifice. Literally, it's probably in Hebrews.
You found it?
It's gonna be in. I'm gonna tell you right. It's gonna be either Psalms or Hebrew.
What you looking for again?
The sacrifice. Watch this. Right here. This one is Psalm 40. That's another one. Get Psalms 40. What's that say?
It says, just do. Hold on, let me pull it up because that might be in a different version. KJV states. It says, these were warned. No, that's not it.
Get right here. Psalms 51:16-19.
Psalm chapter 51
to 18. You need to read to 18.
Psalm chapter 51 verse 16. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart. O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem.
Exactly. A broken and contrite spirit. Repentance and prayer is what he desires above animal sacrifice. You see what I'm saying? So go back to that in Numbers.
Go back to Numbers. 16:47. And Aaron took as Moses commanded and ran in the midst of the congregation, and behold, it says the plague was begun among the people, and he put on incense and made an atonement for the people. And he stood between the dead and the living, and the plague was stayed. Now they that died in the plague were 14,700.
So the angel of the Lord killed nearly 15,000 people in that instance. Go ahead.
Beside them that died upon the matter of Korah.
Beside them, that the 250 that's already dead. Read.
Yeah, really now really close to 15.
Yeah, it's about 15 racks. Go ahead.
And Aaron returned unto Moses unto the door of the tabernacle of the congregation, and the plague was stayed.
And the plague was stayed. So let's go back to Psalm 45.
It says the plague was stayed. That means it stopped.
Who was at the top? You stayed. It stopped.
Who's at the top of that one?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. Psalm 45:1. My heart is inditing a good matter. I speak of the thing which I have made. Touching the king, my tongue is in the pen of a ready writer.
Mm-hmm.
Thou art fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into thy lips.
Mm-hmm. Talking about Yahushua and what he taught. What he came to bring was grace, right? He brought grace. So his grace was in his tongue, right? Read.
It says, therefore, the Most High have blessed thee forever.
Mm-hmm.
Gird thy sword upon thy thigh,
Mm-hmm.
O most mighty.
O most mighty, right? Yahushua Almighty. He's mighty. Gird thy sword about thy thigh. Read.
With thy glory and thy majesty,
Uh-huh.
and in thy majesty ride prosperously because of truth and meekness
Go ahead.
and righteousness.
Uh-huh.
And thy right hand shall teach the terrible things.
That right hand shall teach the terrible things. Read on.
Verse
Meaning
5.
what? He's going to come and destroy. All right. Read.
It
You
says,
see that like the brother just did. Right. He's going to lay the smack down, right? Go ahead.
verse 5.
Uh-huh.
Thine arrows are sharp in the heart of the king's enemies,
Uh-huh.
whereby the people fall under thee. Thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of thy kingdom is a right scepter.
Yahushua is the scepter, has the scepter, meaning he's the ruler, right? Read.
Thou lovest righteousness
Uh-huh.
and hatest wickedness.
Thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness. Yahushua, read.
It says, therefore thou lovest righteousness and hatest wickedness.
Uh-huh.
Therefore the Most High thy God hath anointed thee.
No. Read it right. Read it right. Go ahead. Read it verbatim.
Oh, therefore God. thy
Therefore
God.
God, this psalmist is calling Yahushua God. Then he's saying, therefore God, what?
Thy God.
Therefore God, thy God. Yahushua is a God, a power. So he said, therefore power, thy power, which is the Most High. Just like when David said, the Lord said unto my Lord, telling you this, the Lord Yahushua, or the Lord, the Most High, said unto my Lord Yahushua, because he's our Lord. He's a power to us, but the Most High is the Most High power. You see what I'm saying? But he's still a God, just like we are gods. And he's our Lord because he said over us, but the Most High said over him and us and everybody else for that matter. So we said, therefore, God, thy God, is another precept for Yahushua in the Old Testament. You take an Old Testament only, non-messianic, right here, he's not going to know what to say. They never do. You know why? Because it just called, read it again.
Thou lovest righteousness and hateth wickedness.
Read on.
Therefore God.
Therefore God, read.
Thy God.
Wait a minute. How does God have a God? You see what I'm saying? It's simple. Yahushua is a God, just like it says in Psalms 82:6. We are gods. He clarifies that in John 10:30 when he says, why do you want to stone me? He said, we stone you because you are blasphemous. He says, it's not written in your law, ye are gods, right? Therefore God, thy God, read.
Hath anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows.
That's Yahushua. He's anointed and exalted above his fellows. Read.
And thy garments smell of myrrh and aloes and cassia out of the ivory palaces whereby they have made thee glad.
Read on.
It says, king's daughters were among thy honorable woman. Upon thy right hand did stand the queen in gold of Ophir.
That's the church. The queen in the gold of Ophir, the elect, the holy of holies, right? Read. The precious gold. You see what I'm saying? That's the church. that Yahushua did what? Gave his life for, right? So go ahead. Keep going.
Hearken, O daughter, and consider, and incline thine ear.
Salakia. Matter of fact, you can leave that. Let's go back to Ephesians, because that's going to get on to something else.
5.
Which we had, yeah, Ephesians 5, back at 25 to 31.
Ephesians chapter 5, verse. We were at like 27. You want to go back 25?
Go back to 25.
Ephesians 5 and 25. Husbands, love your wives.
Husbands, love your wives. Read.
Even as Christ also loved the church.
As Yahushua loved the church, the bride and the groom. The church is the bride. Yahushua is the groom. The church, of course, is the elect, not the Jehovah Witness. That's the organization of God, right? The church, the organization of God, which is the Jehovah Witness church. No, it is the 1/3. It's 7 churches. When you read about it in the book of Revelations, read.
And gave himself for it.
And gave himself for it. Yahushua gave his life for the bride. You love your wife the same. Read.
It says that he might sanctify and cleanse it with the washing of water by the word.
Sanctify and cleanse your home with the washing of water by the word. Read on. You said what? Matthew 7 and, or no, Salakia, John 7 and 38. Go ahead.
That he might present it to himself a glorious church.
Present it to himself. Glorious. The queen standing in gold. Glorious. Read.
Not having spot or wrinkle or any such thing.
Read.
But that it should be holy and without blemish.
Right, go ahead.
So ought men to love their wives.
The same way men are to love their wives. Read.
As their own bodies.
As their own bodies. We together are one flesh. Read on.
He that loveth himself, or he that loveth his wife, loveth himself.
Read.
For no man ever yet hated his own flesh, but nourisheth and cherisheth it.
You don't nourish and cherish anything you don't care about. Why would you do such a thing? That's like with the Denzel thing, right? The movie he's in, right? They got the infamous scene where he's like, "Daddy, why don't you like me?" And he said, "Motherfucker, I do this for I give you a house to live in. I feed you. I do this, and that. The hell is you talking about? Like you? I nourish and cherish you and love you. You over here wondering why I don't like you, why I'm not nice to you. I make it possible for you to live. I created you by the power of the Most High, that He allotted unto me to do it, right? But you live in an emotional society where people are worried about whether or not you like somebody or not, and that has nothing to do with anything liking people. But do you love that person is the question. How do you love them? Nourishment and cherishing. Right? So read. Love is an action, not I like you. You're cool. No. I show you I love you. Right? Read.
Even as the Lord the church.
Come on, go ahead.
For we are members of his body, of his flesh, and of his bones.
Read on.
For this cause shall a man leave his father and mother,
read,
and shall be joined unto his wife, and they two shall be one flesh.
One flesh. That's 31?
That's 31.
Beautiful. Let's go to Colossians 3 and 19 to 21. We have some Bazak Baria.
I was curious. Where it says, for this cause shall a man leave his father and mother.
Yes, sir.
He shall be joined unto his wife. We're the wife.
Huh?
We're the bride.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay, we as the church, or as the Church of Israel, but but of course, then you of course on a micro level, you are a man, you have your wife. You see on a demi level, right? So go ahead.
Hey man, we had some Edomites tell us tonight, man, we're degenerates, and I said you are damn right. All right, and even when we get on the demi level, all right, you're a miscreant.
Okay.
Going back, this is Colossians 3. You said 19 to 21. Colossians 3 and 19. Husbands, love your wives and be not bitter against them.
And be not bitter against them. This is a hell of a hurdle to jump in Babylon. We all know this. This is a hell of a hurdle to jump. But it says, read it again.
Husbands, love your wives.
Husbands, love your wives. Read.
And be not bitter against him.
And be not bitter against him. Let a woman be bitter. That's a woman's characteristic and trait. That's a woman's job, to be the bitter baby's mother. Let her do that. You don't be bitter. Read.
Children, obey your parents in all things.
Of course, make sure your children are obedient. This all goes into the ruling of one's house, being righteous and holy within your house. Read.
For it is well pleasing unto the Lord.
The Most High loves obedience. Prove that he gave us laws, statutes, and commandments. He's our heavenly Father, right? So he also loves when children obey the rules of their parents, right? Some people have to understand that when a parent or an overseer may have their own rules based upon the things that they feel is most conducive, right? Those are things that must be followed, right? Your parents. It's not unlawful for you to stay out until all. There's not a law that says thou shalt be in the house when the lights come on, but your parents say don't be outside. Well, after, you know, come inside after the lights come on. That they have their own reasoning for enforcing that rule, and follow that rule because they made the damn rule. You see what I'm saying? So go ahead.
Provoke not your children to anger.
At the same time, fathers, provoke not thy children to anger. So we have to be dealing with our children properly, not being too overbearing on our children, laying down rules, being stern, making them understand obedience, but at the same time, there's an imbalance there. And when you get out of balance, now you are provoking your child to anger when you shouldn't be, when you're doing unnecessary things to your child, bringing him under unnecessary subjection. Who can give me an example of this? Abaj.
What's his name? Michael Jackson's dad?
Michael Jackson's father provoked his children to anger, forcing them to get a dance routine down. You see what I'm saying? Then you start to hate your father. You see what I'm saying? You start to be some type of way towards your father that you shouldn't be, but you can't help but be, because this is what he's doing something to you to make you like that. Like on a certain, He Got Game. Jesus Shuttlesworth, Father Denzel in there. You see what I'm saying? He wants his son to get it because he wants his son to be what he never was. A basketball sensation, a star that goes to the NBA, etc., right? But he's like, man, I just want to, you know what I mean? I just want to go in the house. You forcing this kid to work, you thinking it's for a good cause. And it technically, you say it could be for a good cause. But what you're doing is provoking this kid to anger. This child may grow to hate the sport of basketball. Many a kid that happened to, because their father was just so dead set on driving them into this. Bayan.
I was just thinking about maybe that's why I'm looking. Because I don't believe Michael Jackson had a disease. I think what you're saying, but I believe that's why he did, because his dad put him down so much that he got a strong dislike on black men.
That's possible. That is an immense that's very possible and plausible for the reasoning behind that. You can begin to feel any kind of way. You see what I'm saying? I'm trying to think. Sports would be the #1 example that I can think of, to where we can see if your father trying to drive you into something, or drive you to work real hard at something you don't want to. The God doesn't want.
See it in the church with the pastors too. They try to promote their kids to just do this, do that, and they just rebel, go the complete opposite.
Yeah, they become wicked. You see what I'm saying? That also is another way. You see what I'm saying? I buy you.
For a time, I was the same example because my dad kind of forced me to learn how to be a mechanic.
Yeah, exactly. But you didn't want to do it. Yeah, I don't want to do it. So you provoking you to anger, where a mechanic is the last thing on the planet Earth that you now want to be. Don't do that to your kids, right? Read.
That was 21.
Salaki. Okay, you have something?
Nah,
okay. Let's go to Sirach 35 and 24 to 25.
35?
Uh-huh.
Book of Sirach, chapter 35. Wait, what?
Sirach 35, 24 to 25.
Ain't no 24, 25, 35. You think it's 25, 24, 25? Probably not.
Might be 38. Let's stop at 20. No, 36, 24 to 25.
Sirach chapter 36. He that getteth a wife beginneth. Salah. He that getteth a wife beginneth a possession.
So when you get a wife, that is your possession. You are beginning a possession, right? So if you get a car, what are you doing? Are you beginning a possession? How are you going to treat the car? Well, if you don't, you know what's going to happen to that car, don't you? It's going to break down, and it's not going to be any good. You're going to be needing a new car soon. Let me ask another question. Can a man have more than one car? Can you treat all your cars the same?
Yeah.
All right.
You can cover all the insurance.
If you can, hey, listen, you taking care of your insurance, whatever, you good. You putting gas in the car, you getting, you know, you getting service. You see what I'm saying? Then okay, then I don't gotta say what I'm implying. Everybody gets it, right? So go ahead.
All right. It says, he that getteth a wife beginneth a possession, a like unto himself.
Like unto himself, right? You love your wife as yourself, and she is a help. How is she a help? Well, of course. You've been working all day. You labor, you do what you do. When you come home, do you want to come home to a dirty home? No.
Oh, she does her wife.
No, she does her, but that's the thing. You don't want to come home to a dirty home, so somebody has to be at home making sure the home isn't dirty. You don't want to have to get home and then cook food. You've been working all day. Now you got to do more work. So somebody has to be there to cook your damn food.
That's right.
That's just, it's an extension of you. It's like you being in two places at once. And that's why you have to value that situation, because of how intricate and how important she is to your operation. Because now if she's gone, then you got to do every damn thing. You see what I'm saying? My wife went to visit her sister for a time over the summer. Let me tell you how messed up my room was. Thrashed. I'm eating out every day. I don't do none of that stuff. That's her department. You see what I'm saying? And then the laziness just sets in because it's like, oh, I'm at camp. I'm making the videos. I'm doing this, and that. I don't want to have to do all of this stuff too. I shouldn't have to, right? So, yeah. I'm just pushing stuff. Hey, hella stuff on the bed. I'm just whatever, man. I got this king size bed. It's only me, so this whole side can just get filled up with random things. You see what I'm saying? This is what happens. And then in the case of multiple wives, you have even more help. You see? You had something, Serge?
Yeah, I was just saying, like, you come home from work is so stressful sometimes, you want to come home to that
comfort. Help, she's there, baby. It's all right. You know what I mean? You're there, you feel good. Yeah. That's what a wife is supposed to be. Yeah, not add on more stress. So this go in all of this, because this is directed towards men, this class, but in all of this, there has to be a woman there that's being all these things that she's supposed to be. And you being what you're supposed to be. Salakia, so what you say? Exactly. Now I don't want to be there. Now I don't want to do what I'm supposed to be doing. You see what I'm saying? So that throws everything off. You see what I'm saying? So in you being who you're supposed to be, that woman better be being who the hell she's supposed to be.
That's right.
And little does she know, she has quite an easy job in cooking and cleaning. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you know, and wonder why you out there at 3 in the morning. Well, because you're unpleasant. Who wants to live in a house with a dragon?
That's right. That's right.
Right? You unpleasant. I don't want to be there, so I'm out of here. You see what I'm saying? But go ahead.
Talk about, you know,
yeah. Cut.
You said, hey, you feed a dog, and that dog will come. He gonna come and you put the food out, he gonna keep coming there.
You know?
So what is it about you that makes your man not want to be around you?
Yeah, cut. That's right.
Okay.
That's right, huh?
Hey.
So go ahead.
It's verse 25. Where no hedges, there the possession is spoiled.
Where no hedge is, there the possession is spoiled. So you take a possession, but you hedge that possession. You protect that possession. If you care about anything, you protect it. You get one of these new silly ass iPhones, you're not just gonna leave it unless you want it stolen. You're not just gonna not get a case on it unless you want it broken. Okay? So if you don't want your girl stolen or broken, Protect her. You see what I'm saying? Simple as that.
That was heavy.
Protect her and make sure. And what you have to do, and hey, even Polite said this to it, you have to limit outside influences, because outside influences and punk ass, bitter ass homegirls and satanic ass mothers will drive a wedge between you and your wife. You see, when you want to be a man, and this woman has never met a real man in her life, so what she does is when she sees you being a man, she's such a demon that she's gonna come against you being a man by planting satanic seeds in the ears of your woman. You have to limit that as much as humanly possible, sir. You have something?
No, I'm saying the heads could be the boundaries. You know?
The boundaries.
Yeah, you gotta set the boundaries, rules, and all that stuff.
Things she can and cannot do.
Because she will test those.
She's gonna try to go.
We don't have any.
She's gonna be like a touchdown. She's just trying to stay in bounds, you know. But go ahead.
You gotta do that from the jump.
From gate.
Because if you try to add on these rules later on, come to find out it's kind of a little bit hard.
Yeah, nah, because that's what happens.
Weird.
That's what happens when it's problematic, when you're coming into the truth with this woman. Because now it's like we've been living lawlessly and satanically as hell in the world, and now I'm trying to get right, and I'm trying to bring all this new stuff, and she's looking at you like, nigga, we used to do this and that. Why are you telling me now we can't do that anymore? This ain't cool now? No, it's not. So she gonna take, sometimes some brothers are blessed with the woman. It's like, all right, well, she gonna get on board. But most of us, you have to deal with a long process of trying to, you know, etch these things in. You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's good if you're already in the truth and then you meet a woman, you laying these ground rules off top. Look, it's gonna go like this, this, and that. You gonna get ready to stop doing this, this, and that. You're with her, you're not. You see what I'm saying? Now we're more seasoned in choosing wives and things of that nature, because now we know what it entails. But when you come in with that woman, you're gonna see trouble. It's a lot of work, and you're gonna see trouble in the flesh, and she's gonna be with it one day, and the next day she's gonna wake up and she's gonna be the opposite of with it. You understand what I'm saying? She's gonna be satanic. She's gonna be your enemy. You see what I'm saying? But someday she's gonna play like me. I mean, yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you know what? What you said? Yeah, shrimp. You know what? I got tired of Red Lobster anyway. You know, I'm gonna stop eating shrimp. That's Tuesday. Then by Friday, payday comes. She's at Red Lobster. You see what I'm saying? With the girls, they're drinking, acting satanic. Now you got a headache. Like, God damn. You see what I'm saying? You had more to add on that?
Yeah, I was just saying, I was like before.
Man.
I started finding out the truth.
What?
With my girl for like 5 years. So
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
We was living a certain way before I even try to bring in these laws and stuff like that and try to live right and correct. You know, so a lot of times we get into battle.
Clash, yeah.
You know, we clash and all the time.
And she's bringing up what? Old stuff. Old stuff is a woman. She's got a vault of everything that you've ever done in it, that she will never let go, and she'll just pull it out. Boom.
Exactly. And that's what I thought. I was talking to Mordecai last night.
What?
And I was saying, it seems like, you know, what you were saying, it seems like she wants to hold me in that position. Like every time I try to bring something out to try to hold me, oh, you was doing this, you was doing that. And it seems like she don't want to allow me to grow. You feel me? She wants to hold me in that position where I was once wicked, you feel me?
Because she wants to be wicked, so
exactly.
She wants you to be wicked with her. But that's why Yahweh Shai said a prophet is not without honor save for within his own city. Amongst your own people, the people that know you, they're not going to honor you. And the reason they're not going to honor you is because they know the wicked you. But when you come someplace that people don't know you and all they know you is you're a man of God, they looking at you like, this brother's a righteous brother. Because they've only known you since you've been righteous. People that know you from when you've been wicked is like, nigga, I remember when you did this, this, and that, and they kicked you out of school for this, and, you know, you slapped your mama one time. You know what I'm saying? So that's all they want to bring up on you. You see what I'm saying? And that therein lies the problem of an issue that certain brothers have to cross with bringing in wives from the world, coming in the truth with a wife from the world. And instead of congratulating, you see what I'm saying? Instead of the sister looking at you and saying, you know what, you bettering yourself. You know what I'm saying? This is good. I'm happy. I want to do it with you. I want to help you. You know, I'm glad. She wants you to continue to be this guy that you used to be. Why? Because a lot of our sisters, they are into that whole, they're into the wicked nigga. The wicked nigga, the nigga to get all the girls. You see what I'm saying? Girl, like we was talking about it, it's girls that, you know, dealing with it. Who was talking about it? Hakar brought it out, and other brothers brought it out. Wait a minute, you mean to tell me you're not a pimp no more? I'm not finna mess with you. You see what I'm saying? You don't want to mess with me because I don't want to make you sell your body for money. I don't want to make you turn tricks for $60 to $120 a session. I don't want to make you do that, so you don't want to mess with me. That's somebody who has a mental disturbance and needs to be locked up in a straitjacket immediately. The guy out of one.
I had a woman tell me that I was less of a man because, you feel me, or in her turn, she lightweight called me a bitch because I did not want to make her go out and send her something.
You see that?
Literally, I just stopped talking to her because she was like, oh, well, if you're not going to do this, then what kind of man are you?
What kind of man am I? A man with sense. These Negroes, let me talk about this. San Diego is an epidemic of it, but it's elsewhere as well, of boyfriend pimps, of Negro who want to send a girl to hoe herself and then lay up with her every night and kiss her on the mouth and make children with this girl. Yeah, in the mouth. This is yeah, mouth kissing. How insane of a nigga do you gotta be to do something as crazy as that? But I'm a punk and I'm less of a man because I don't want to do that. I'll be a bitch. That's fine.
But real quick, remember, we did the video a while back about how it's borderline homosexuality to be committing adultery against another man. You only want this woman because she belongs to another man. So if you got this woman that belongs to you, but she's out, selling herself and dealing with other men, it seems like she's more appealing to you. Like it's just still borderline that gay shit.
You weirdo.
You want to kiss her in the mouth when she got a man already kissing him in the mouth. Like that turns you on or something, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it turns you on for her to be dealing with all these dudes. That's stupid. That's weird.
And I'm gonna tell you,
spiritual, different spirits on you. You feel me? That's why a lot of these homosexuals.
Yeah, that's why they say because when you see a man's wife's nakedness, you see his nakedness. He become one with this woman. You have a famous rapper, okay, named Chief Keef. Everybody knows Chief Keef in the room. Chief Keef, little dreadhead, crazy nigga. That's good. You should know him. If you don't know him, be happy. Praise the Most High for that. Chief Keef has multiple babies' moms. One of his baby's mom is a hideous monster. And she's so hideous that he doesn't even claim her as a baby mom, but she in fact is his baby mom, who's with him since before the fame, right? What's her name? Lady Abnormal. Lady Abnormal, they call her. Everybody look her up. Hideous girl. You see what I'm saying? Comes.
Her name's Lady Abnormal.
Like, she looks abnormal. She did an interview with a guy by the name of Zach TV. Anybody follow Chicago rappers know they all do Zach TV interviews. She did an interview with this dude, Zach TV, and she began to rattle off the list of rappers that she either has talked to, been in relationships with since Chief Keef. And as ugly as this girl is, the only possible motivation any of those men can have to deal with this girl is because she is Chief Keef's baby mom. All of those niggas are gay. You're a faggot. Because the only reason you're gonna get with this girl is because of whose baby mom, who somebody else is going in her. That is what's motivating you to get with this girl. That's homo.
Like not because you want her.
Because you couldn't possibly want her as ugly as she is. Right? This is the interview right here. Her.
Let me see. Not bad.
She got this cheap bob on. I mean, I'm talking about it's nothing cute about this girl. Right? You know, because we're up on game of what's going on as far as that go. But as hideous as this girl is, Negroes are lining up to be with her. I'm talking about 600 Breezy, who's supposed to be Chief Keef's homeboy. talking about she was messing with him. This is all after Keith. But why? Because of whose baby mom that is. You have an obsession with this girl because you're a faggot. The guy.
They was same thing with that little dirt baby mama. OTRP.
The white girl, the ugly little white girl. But everybody wants to get with her because so you're obsessed with this man. So you want to get with his baby mom. If you a rapper on the damn internet with the notoriety and fame that some of these guys that she rattled off got, you'll get easily I'm talking about as ugly as she is, you can easily get a far better looking girl than her.
God.
That's nobody's baby mom, especially not a nigga that you're supposed to be cool with, and you can get with her, no problem, right? You've got enough fame and notoriety for her to want to get with you. Instead, you're chasing this monster that Chief Keef called the baby mom. She's hideous.
That Chief Keef's not even claiming.
Chief Keef don't even claim. You understand what I'm saying? If a girl is so ugly, her baby daddy won't claim her. There's a reason for that. There's a reason why you be like, I mean, you feel meanwhile, she was holding this boy down. If you watch this interview, she's talking about how this nigga used to be getting beat up. Niggas used to be shooting at him. I used to have to come save him. I used to have to fight with niggas for him, pick him up. They used to be at school chasing this nigga. And he said he denies her, the girl that was there. She's gotta be a hideous beast.
Hey,
the guy on the one.
Look, you never seen her to that Zach T.
I never knew who that was.
Unless you've been following, you've never seen this girl.
Zach brought her to light. And she named, I want to say, if anybody know these Chicago nigga, of course, 600 Breezy, Lud, Foe, Rocaine. I'm talking about, Rocaine. These are supposed to be Chief Keef homeboys. Rocaine is signed to him. 600, Love Foe is. 600 Breezy is his boy because they 300, 600, they beat each together. You see what I'm saying? Bizarre.
Are you telling me he doesn't want to claim the woman that was with him when he was shooting in the gym?
No, he doesn't want to claim the girl that was shooting in the gym with him, but niggas are stalking her.
Wow.
Baja.
She was shooting in the gym with him?
She was shooting in the gym with him.
Like, shoot.
No, well, not like that, but you know, she been back with him since then.
Hey, she right.
She might have, because she said she didn't have to fight with niggas when he's getting jumped and things of that nature. Yeah.
Hey, she's ugly.
She's out there doing this. That's my boo.
Your period.
Yeah, until you make millions of dollars and you realize.
And yeah. See, but look, because he's not a thorough or solid individual. That's all that got to do with. Because she.
KK got a song on the album.
Right.
Yeah,
of course not. But that's the thing about it, is the fact that this dude left out all of this part of his history where he's getting on YouTube acting like he's just shooting at people, and the whole time he's the one that's getting beat up and shot at all the time. She was there, so she can tell you what happened during that time. He wasn't one of the guys that was, known for going up at somebody else's stuff and shooting at him.
So she basically raised him.
She basically raised him. And she's from the other side, which she revealed on that too. She grew up with the GDs, right? But
what's her name again?
Lady Abnormal.
So he should be Lil Abnormal.
That's
his big home.
He's Lil Abnormal, right? But he won't claim her. Give me your Howard Shy. If you think about committing adultery, you've committed. Because this proves, I remember I did the video about it before. I'm glad you brought it up, is that adultery is borderline homosexuality. That interview proves it. What's that interview called on Zach TV? I want everybody to check that out. I might even splice it in.
It should be in the last last of the forum.
Let me see.
But I do remember it should be the last
Lady Abnormal.
Matthew 5:28.
Matthew 5:28. So let me go to just Zach TV. He done dropped a few things though since then.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He probably did just put all the new stuff.
Yeah. He did a couple, but it ain't too far. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Lady Abnormal. Where is she at?
Yeah, she should pop up. It's 2 months ago.
Right here, Chief Keef's baby mama talks dating, Soulja Boy, Lud Foe, and feeling 600 Breezy. Soulja Boy. Soldier Boy couldn't have possibly known her.
He took her down?
That's what she's talking about.
Soldier Boy, SOD, and they lightweight kind of feud with Glow Gang, just in the little sport match. They knew to get that money.
This is what I'm saying. We're gonna watch. Watch this. Just watch.
I gotta talk about this. So I was on your Twitter, you know, I be sneak Twittering and checking shit out, looking, you know what I'm saying, being an investigator. I saw you was like tweeting cash out from TENNESSE, like, hey baby boo, like what's up with that?
That's his enemy.
Well, you fucking with the ops. You fucking with the ops, man. No. It's my right.
Cash out the homo for this as well. Yeah, now mind you, yeah. Cash out was piping Chief Keef's mom. You see, yeah, Cash out. His enemy was piping on his mom. You know what I mean? His mom kind of cool though. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna front on his mom.
So we just kicking it cool like Cash out. And Cash out reached out to me.
Cash out reached out to me, meaning because I'm Chief Keef's baby mom, this dude tried to get with me. Right? That was his motivation. Yeah, another man though. That's his whole thing. That's why that's gay. The spirit of that is homosexual. You got it, Matthew. Go ahead.
Matthew chapter 5, verse 28. It says, but I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart.
These men committed adultery with this woman in their heart. Why? Because all they were thinking about is having sex with her based upon another man. All right? So they have committed adultery and bordering sodomy, okay, because the man is motivating the sexual act, right?
I didn't know you was Keith baby mom, but I did you cool.
You see that? I didn't know you was Keith baby mom, but when he found out, that's what prompted him to reach out. That's gay, Cash out, period.
And he also introduced himself as talking to Lolo.
Lolo is Chief Keef mom.
Lolo is Keith mother. What the
Huh? Now, well, she's saying that they didn't mess around, but he was confirmed with Keith's mom. If you go into where all that stuff started hitting World Star around the time little JoJo died, that's what was going on. It was Cash Out and JoJo, and Cash Out was on the phone with Chief Keef's mom and recording it. You see what I'm saying? And those are the videos that actually prompted little JoJo to get killed. You see what I'm saying?
He's still living?
No. Well, Cash Out is Cash Out, but JoJo did. But Cash Out a lot. No, Cash Out is. But it was still living. Yeah. Oh yeah. Cash Out's in jail right now. Yeah, Cash Out's locked up. But JoJo died behind all that because JoJo was riding through their hood and kept recording riding through their hood. And then that's when Larry said, JoJo, I'm gonna kill you. And then within, I want to say 2-3 days, JoJo was dead. But Cash Out's still alive. You see what I'm saying? But granted though, Cash Out and JoJo is from two different hoods. But basically that was that whole thing. But the whole motivation behind him getting with Keith mama and him getting with Keith, trying to get a Keith baby mama, and all the rest of these dudes getting a Keith baby mom was another man. That's why there's the gay spirit over it. You see what I'm saying? That's a homosexual vibration. That's on that. That's off. It's wicked as hell, right? Shalakia, let's go to what was we at? We finished Colossians. Okay, boom. That's perfect. Open up for Q&A. We're gonna do a brief Q&A, probably for like at least 10-15 minutes, and then we close up. I'll be right back. So, cause I got a question now.
What's good?
Can you give me some different spiritual gifts?
You say, can I give you different spiritual
Yeah,
gifts?
I mean, like, what would some be?
You got the gift of prophecy. Yeah, that's the first one. You got
Speaking in other languages?
yeah, you got the gift of prophecy. You got the gift of tongue. I'm about to get the actual scripture because it speaks about it.
Talent.
Yeah. It says, this is 1 Corinthians 12. And we're going to start at 8. It says, for to one is given by the Spirit the word of wisdom, to another the word of knowledge by the same Spirit, to another faith by the same Spirit, to another the gifts of healing by the same Spirit, to another the working of miracles, to another prophecy, to another discerning of spirits. That's where we get the brother Bayan Rakar name from, to understand the Spirit. It says, to another diverse kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. It says, but all these worketh that one of the selfsame Spirit, dividing to every man severally as he will. For as the body is one and hath many members, and all the members of that one body being many are one body, so also is Christ. You see what I'm saying? And I mean, we can even take it further, man. Like sometimes brothers might have, you know, the spirit of just remembering precepts. Just you know we had a brother in the camp that fell out. He could off the top of his head, man, just pull precepts. Didn't have no understanding. You see what I'm saying? But he could just pull precepts. Another, you know, it might be the enforcer in the camp. You know what I'm saying? Might be willing to put himself out there. He got the gift of them hands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Trying to think, what's some other gifts that brothers would have, especially when I'm looking around in the camp. You know, oh yeah, hey, of course, that's right. Hey, we got the brother Yadai. You know what I mean? Meaning to know or knowledge. The brother just knows a bunch of stuff. You know, he just knows things. You ask the brother, hey, 1979, October 5th, and he's like, yeah, you know, he'll tell you the news headline, you know what I mean, and so forth and things like that. So you got those gifts that the scriptures speak about, but you also just have gifts outside of that as well. And you can see that, you know, with brothers that's coming in, especially somebody like Yash, man. Yash is moving up through the ranks. He's you know, the Spirit is really dealing with him. So sometimes the Deke actually said it. The Deke says, I'm gifted in prophecy. He said, you and Bonloya, y'all can go and be real motivational speakers. Y'all can get people active and motivated. And you know what I mean? That's the difference of gifts or spirit. Hey, brothers know how to be in order. You got the gift of just being in order. You know what I'm saying? I would say Bazak possesses that gift of order. Brother comes in, he making sure brothers up on a panel that's teaching, got waters, everything is good, you know. So it's many different gifts, but those are some. You know what I'm saying? I hope that helped you out. Anybody else got any questions? What you got?
Yeah, like I was in that with Christianity stuff, so I'm in the truth now, and I need to start all the way over. I don't even know how to properly even pray. You know, pray.
Somebody give me Matthew 6.
What verse is that?
I think it's like about 4.
For that thy arms may be in
Wait,
secret.
start at 5.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not.
You gotta speak up.
And when thou prayest, thou shalt not be as the hypocrites are.
Real quick. So you said you was coming out of that wicked Christianity. It says don't be as the hypocrites are. So it's gonna elaborate on what the hypocrites do. And when you hear it, you're gonna see a lot of things that you're gonna be familiar with what they was doing in the Christian church. Go ahead.
For they love to pray standing in the synagogue.
They love to pray standing in the synagogues. They all with you know, they in the service off with a massive prayer. Right before they call you, they do the altar call and they come down and pass that collection plate around. Right. You know, and then when they want to come dip you into that water, they all stand and they everyone bow your heads. We wanna have a prayer to the Lord.
Pull out the man's blankets and stuff. In secret, gotta honor it.
Well, we're gonna get into it, but the brother made a good point. Even when you're going into Islam, you know, they'll pull their prayer rug out anywhere. You know what I'm saying?
For everybody to see.
For everybody to see. You know what I'm saying? Trying to be seen of men. You know, not to mention that even when you go over to with them damn Jewish rats, they praying to the Wailing Wall. They all, you know, congregated together with the Wailing Wall. Same with the Muslims over at the mosque or that temple, you know, with the cobblestone. They all have this big mass prayer standing in their synagogues. Go ahead.
Synagogues and in the corners of the streets.
And in the corner of the streets, which is more than likely where the synagogues are going to be. But they also do it, you know, when they trying to go and bless the neighborhood and bless the street. They pretty much they're doing it openly. Go ahead.
That they may be seen of men.
So that's how they purpose is. They want to be seen of men. All right, go
I
ahead.
say unto you, they have their reward.
They have their reward. Go ahead. Yeah.
But thou,
it says, but thou, go ahead.
When thou prayest,
read.
Enter into thy closet.
So it's going to give this the instructions on how to pray. Enter into your closet when you pray. Go ahead.
And when thou hast shut thy door,
go ahead.
Pray to thy Father which is in secret.
It just pretty much means in secret. If you got a closet, use it. If you don't, just make sure you do it in secret. You know what I mean? Sometimes we all out to eat, you know, we all get the food. Brothers say a little prayer, you know, in their head or in their secret is to themselves between you and the Most High. All right, go ahead.
And thy Father which seeth in secret shall reward thee openly.
So when you pray to the Father in secret, he's going to reward you openly. All right, go ahead.
But when ye pray, use not vain repetitions.
When you pray, don't use the vain repetitions. If you listen to these people in the churches, dear Lord Heavenly Father, we like to thank you today. Lord Heavenly Father, we just want to call on your name, dear Lord Heavenly Father. I'm talking about over and over and over again. You're just like, man, you know what I'm saying? That's the type of stuff that they be on. So we don't have to use those vain repetitions. Read.
As the heathen do.
As the heathen do. The heathen is the one that use that vain repetition, thinking that, well, finish is going, I'm about to jump the gun. Go ahead.
For they think that they shall be heard for their much speaking.
They think they're going to be heard for just talking so damn much. That's not going to get you into the kingdom. Go ahead.
But not ye, therefore, like unto them.
It says, be not ye, therefore, like unto them. Go ahead.
For your Father knoweth what things ye have need of.
Now, this is the thing, because I've had someone ask me this. The scripture says that the Most High knoweth what things you have need of. So it's going to also give you further instructions on what to do when you go to pray to him. You don't have to use the vain repetitions and be long-winded. But sometimes people say, man, I just want to just sit and chop it up with the Most High. Feel free. You know what I'm saying? But let it be something genuine and not you, like you said, being vain and repetitious or in repetition or speaking. What you got?
I was gonna say like a new car.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like he knows if you don't have a car or if
that
you
would need one.
Yeah, he knows he'll get you around. But to say, you know, yeah, I want this and I want that and vanity and such and such.
Exactly. Dear Lord Heavenly Father, you know I need that new car, man. You know mine is breaking down. Father, just give me some new rims, Lord Heavenly Father. I just wish that, you know, my rims could shine like my neighbor's rims. Dear Lord Heavenly Father. I would love to just have that, you know. That's the type of stuff. And literally, man, we hear it. Literally, we hear it, and you just be thinking like, how in the hell do you even feel comfortable asking them all 5 minutes? All right, what you got?
Also, y'all mentioned the Muslims earlier. We know that Muslims got praying to the east of Mecca from us. So is it still? Do we still have to pray facing the east towards Jerusalem?
Yeah,
yes. Give me 1 Kings 8:44. This is something that's been coming up. We're gonna get to that real quick.
We also pray to Yahweh in the name of Yahweh.
We gonna get it. We gonna get it. Keep Matthew 6. I'll get 1 Kings.
Yeah, because that's something that's got to be understood. You got a new doctrine I seen come out that says praying to the east is sun worship, and we ain't supposed to pray to the east. This is what a new doctrine that came out. That's absolutely retarded. Why? Who can tell me why praying to the east in the case of the Muslim is sun worship? Who can tell me? But you pray to the east. So aren't you sun worshiping too then?
Because of the rock, the cobblestone, right?
Not because of the rock. They're praying. They used to pray to Jerusalem. Now they pray to Mecca. Either way, they face the east though. But there's a specific purpose of that separates the way Muslims pray to the way we pray. That makes it different.
That's because they pray like, what is it, 5 times a day, and we pray without ceasing.
They pray 5 times a day when the sun is at specific spots in the sky. They worship the sun by praying to the east. They pray on a schedule to dignify the sun. We pray to the east when the sun is setting in the west. We're still praying to the east. You see what I'm saying? Our prayer has nothing to do with the sun. It has to do with our land is east of us. Watch this. Go ahead.
18 and what?
8 and 44 in 1 Kings.
1 Kings, chapter 8, verse 44. It says, if thy people go out to battle against their enemies, whithersoever thou shalt send them.
Go to 46.
Verse 46. If they sin against me.
If they sin, read.
For there is no man that sinneth not. And thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemy, so that they carry them away captives unto the land of the enemy.
This is the position we're in now. Read.
Far and near.
Far and near. Go ahead.
Yet if they shall bethink themselves.
If we think ourselves, read.
And the land whither they were carried captive.
In captivity, read.
And repent. And make supplication unto thee in the land of them that carry them captive, saying,
read.
We have sinned and have done perversely and have committed wickedness. So return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul, in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive.
In the land of their enemies, read.
And pray unto thee toward their land.
And pray unto thee toward their land. So we pray towards Jerusalem, which is east of us. We pray towards the east. Plain and clear in the Bible. You see what I'm saying? You had another question?
Yeah, I had another one, and also off of that, where he says, we have sinned when you're asking for repentance. It's important to always ask for repentance for us and our fathers before us, as it says in Leviticus 26 and 40.
Get that Leviticus 26 and 40 out.
Leviticus 26 and 40. If they confess the iniquity of their fathers.
So you confess the iniquity of your fathers. We have to acknowledge the fact that what? Our fathers have sinned. Read. Somebody give me Baruch 3 and 8, I believe. Go ahead.
It says, with their trespass, which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me.
We admit that we went off and that our forefathers went off, and that's why we're here. You see what I'm saying? We have to admit those things. And that's how you repent from something. You have to admit to it, right? And you have to understand that you were your forefathers.
I was just about to say that. You got to you know what I mean? You got to understand that the things we're going through is the same thing that our forefathers going through, because it is us. It's what we're speaking about.
We got to understand that we are reincarnated from
That's right. Our forefathers. This was us. This was us. So it should be more of a feeling of remorse to understand that, man, here I am in captivity still to this day. That's the scripture say. We are yet this day in our captivity. And real quick, we are yet this day in our captivity. I understand that was me, and I'm now waking up in my 20s, 30s, and 40s, and I'm still doing the same stuff. So once you realize moving forward, you should do it with much more sincerity and more of a humble spirit than to kind of just feel like, well, I got time, it's all good. No, we've been doing this for way too long. We need to get out of this trap today, right now, hasten today. What you got?
That's why it's also important to watch how you treat people. You never know who you might be talking to.
That too. The scripture says, where you might be entertaining angels.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So that's why the scripture said, let all things be done into edification, exhortation, and comfort.
Drop Baruch. Hold on. Drop Baruch. Get Psalms 106 and 6. You get Lamentations 5 and 7. Zanach. Baruch is not what I wanted. I wanted these. I wanted Lamentations, but Psalms is good also. Get Psalm 106, and then you get Jeremiah 14:20. Abijah.
Verse 6.
The Psalm 106 and 6.
We have sinned with our fathers.
We have sinned with our fathers. We did the same thing as our forefathers did. We're not doing anything new. Okay? There were sodomites in the land at one point in time. We have sodomites, idolaters, adulterers, etc., etc. There's no new thing under the sun. We are not doing any new sins and transgressions. Doing the same thing that we've been doing, being wicked, right? Read.
We have committed iniquity. We have done wickedly.
We have done wickedly. Read on.
Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt.
That's all I needed was 6. You all good, huh? Zanak.
This is Lamentations chapter 5, verse 7.
Read.
Our fathers have sinned and are not.
Our fathers have sinned and are not. Our forefathers committed iniquity. They're not alive now. Read.
And we have borne their iniquity.
And now we're bearing their iniquities. Right? Read on. That was it on that?
That's it.
All right.
Jeremiah 14:20. We acknowledge, O Lord, our wickedness.
That's what we have to do. Acknowledge our wickedness. Read on.
And the iniquity of our fathers.
And that of our fathers. Read on.
For we have sinned against thee.
We have to acknowledge these things. Okay? Because that's repentance. Acknowledging of these things and then turning from these things. Right? Bazak Baria.
I just wanted to add that another precept for 1 Kings 8 was also 2 Chronicles 6:30.
Is it the same thing? It's the same thing? It's just another recount of what Solomon saying it.
If I could add, man, it puts things in the perspective of stop thinking selfishly as an individual. You know, like, well, God, I didn't do it, so why are you punishing me? As a collective.
And all of these are cuts when white people say, I didn't do it. We didn't do it.
Oh, that's right.
Now what?
Great precept.
I had to deal with it. You got to deal with it. Go ahead, Cap. Go ahead.
Doesn't it say in the Bible that he judges people by a nation?
He judges nations.
That's right.
That's how you get it. Well, go ahead.
So again, man, this is if the Most High is judging us as a nation, we have to look at our transgressions and iniquity as a nation.
That's right.
This is why we go out to the highways and to the byways in order to wake our people up so that we can stop doing the things that we've been doing. We understand that everybody's not going to get it, so it's like as a fallback, we understand that we got to just look, reach out to the elect. But at the same time, just because somebody walks by, they might not be the elect, don't mean we're not going to correct them out of love for our people. You see what I'm saying? This is a collective thing, man. All right. I was listening to something, man. I think it's a song, and at the end of it, a brother was speaking. He said something like, he said black people, but we know, speaking about the Hispanic and Native Americans, he said when they look and see one black man afflicted or hurt, and they take on that hurt and that affliction, that is when we're going to be able to rise as a people, because when you afflict one, you're afflicting all of us. You see what I'm saying? So the same way we get mad when a young black man or Hispanic man or Native American is gunned down in the street unlawfully or unarmed, and we all get upset, is the same way we have to be upset when we see one of our people going off and transgressing. Same feeling, all right? Because it's all going to equal the same thing. And we know that if that brother's killed, we know it was because he was not right, whether in this life or the past. So it was all the judgment of the Most High. We accept it, but it's not something that, we want to continue in, all right? Finish that in Matthew 6, bro.
Matthew 6, all the way from 9 to 14.
You know what I'm looking for.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye, our Father.
Real quick. Start back at 8.
Be not ye therefore like unto them, for your Father knoweth what things ye have need of, before ye ask him.
So before you ask the Most High, he's already going to know what you need. So he says, when you pray, this is what you pray. Go ahead.
After this manner, therefore, pray ye.
Go ahead.
Our Father which art in heaven.
Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim. Go ahead.
Hallowed be thy name.
Kodash Haya Shemka Yahweh. Go ahead.
Thy kingdom come.
Was Yahweh Malak Wathka Taba'a Ratazaka. Go ahead.
Thy will be done.
Haya Ashaba Arataza. Go ahead.
In earth.
Kawahya Bashemayim.
As it is in heaven.
What that is? Kawahya Bashemayim. Go ahead.
Give us this day our daily bread.
Natalanawa Laka'am Kayawam Wasalak Nawa. Go ahead.
Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors.
Kahawawa Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kahawawa Nawa. Go ahead.
And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Wala'a, Tabaya Anawa, Banasayawan, Abal, Hawashainawa. Go ahead.
For thine is the power, is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Hawashainawa, Bayan Rai Kayala Ka Hamalakwa, Waha Allah, Wahata Pa'arath, La Iwalamyam. And then I'll always say, call Allah Abanawa Yahweh by Shema Mashaki Shayama. Right? So brothers gotta start to get that Hebrew.
You gotta write that down.
Brothers gotta get that Hebrew down, right?
Can you like
I actually got it. I actually got a picture of it, so brothers can.
No.
You got it. You got it. You know what I'm saying?
No, I was
brothers
gonna
is able to
ask
get that.
you, I was gonna ask you, can you video yourself saying it? Because I learned better like that, and just send it to me, and I could just, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you can go back over it 100 times.
I mean, you know, even then, you know what I'm saying? That's probably something I could do.
Yeah, I can
You know,
kind of like
break it down.
listen to it and then read it at the same time. So,
But I'm gonna tell you this, man. If you just wake, what I did was I just woke up every morning, and I just read it, and I just read it. Eventually, you're gonna start to know what, like the same way we be at camp, and you know we know what precepts is coming out. You ever be? I remember back when I was in the church, right? I know if I myself doing this now. The pastor would bring out certain scriptures, and then you hear your mom finish it. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, they must bring that out a lot. So once you read it, man, you'll get it. You know what I'm saying? Can you do the Lord's Prayer in English?
No.
So get it in English. You know what I'm saying? And then maybe you might want to spit it twice. Read it in English, then read it in the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Because we know the scripture says that it's going to give off a different vibration when you say it in the Hebrew rather than in the English. So just to make sure you're saying, you know, what you need to say, do it in the English, then do it in the Hebrew. After a while, you'll pick up on it. But you know, like I said, I don't mind. I'll do it in the
original tongue is fly as hell.
Hey, you know what's funny, man? Listen, me and his brother we was driving down from up north, Oceanside. We was listening to this girl. She was doing this breakdown, and she was talking about the Aki and the Adonai. And what it was like the Edoni. And man, it just sounds so weak, man. You know what I'm saying? Instead of saying Akya, Akwaf, and saying, you know, the outer one. I'm talking about come on. It touches your spirit when you speak in these powerful words.
That's right.
Instead of saying Aki, Adonai.
That's weak. That's the white man's fake make-believe damn Hebrew. It sounds weak. You understand what I'm saying? It sounds soft. The Hebrew we're speaking is the language of men. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Like his brother said, the bar. You know, that sounds like a masculine word, the bar. Yahweh. You see what I'm saying? Not Yahweh. Shalom. You know, all that madness.
Shalom.
You said what? It sounds just soft. You see what I'm saying? I can't get down with that. You can't tell me that that's the language of the Most High. You can't convince me. That's something that the white man is using. You see what I'm saying? Right? But let's get to the praying in the name, right? So let's go to Isaiah 53 first. Are you finished that? We done? Amen? Okay. Let's go to Isaiah 53 and the 12th verse.
Isaiah chapter 53, verse 12.
We almost done. Go ahead. Isaiah 53
and 12. Therefore will I divide him a portion with the great,
and
he shall divide the spoil with the strong, because he hath poured out his soul unto death.
It's talking about Yahushua prophecy. He said he hath poured out his soul unto death. Read on.
And he was numbered with the transgressors, and he bare the sin of many.
He bore the sin of many, the sin of the nation. Read.
And made intercession for the transgressors.
And made intercession. So it's Yahushua that makes intercession, right? Give me 1 Timothy 2 and 5. So he's our intercessor, right, between us and the Most High, while we're in this arbitrational period before the new covenant comes into play, right?
1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 5. For there was one God and one mediator between
There's
God
one
and
God,
men.
the Most High, Yahweh, and a mediator between us and the Most High. Who is that mediator?
The man, Mashiach Yahushua.
The man, Hamashiach Yahushua. Let's get Salakia, let's get John 16 and 23 rather.
John chapter 16, verse 23. And in that day ye shall ask me nothing. Verily, verily, I say unto you, whatsoever ye shall ask the Father in my name.
In my name, by Hashem Yahushai,
That's right.
Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, read.
He will give it you.
He will give it you in his name. Now watch this. 1 Samuel 25:9. Because that's John 16:23. You're going to have a non-messianic. And he's going to say, you praying in the name of another God. Number one, he's going to have to deal with Isaiah 53:12 first. That's the foundational scripture you go to. But we're going to show you another way to cut these Negroes who's talking about you can't pray in the name of somebody. You don't do something in the name of anything but the Most High. We'll see. 1 Samuel 25:9. We're going to show these people they don't know a damn thing. Okay, they haven't studied the Torah or the Tanakh or any of it. Read.
1 Samuel 25:9. And when David's young men came.
David's young men. Who is David?
King David.
The king. Read.
They spake to Nabal.
They spoke to Nabal. Read.
According to those words, in the name of David.
In the name of who?
David.
So David was the king. His men spoke in his name. Yahushua is the king. We speak in Yahushua's name.
That's right.
Plain, simple, and period. Give me 1 John. No, I got another one. I got another code.
It can't get no colder. Hey,
1 Samuel 25:9. Give me 1 John 2:1. Another one that we all can understand here in the New Testament now.
1 John chapter 2, verse 1. My little children, these things write I unto you, that ye sin not. And if any man sin, we have an advocate.
We have an advocate. Your advocate, what's another word for advocate? Lawyer. You have a lawyer. Do you speak directly to the judge? No, your lawyer does. Mostly because you don't know a damn thing and your lawyer knows things, so that your lawyer can object. He knows all the proper protocols. So you're speaking through your lawyer. Your lawyer is doing what? Representing you. So that's why you're speaking to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai. Because the only reason Yahweh even going to listen to anything you got to say is if Yahushai is vouching for you. You got to have somebody vouching for you. You're litigator. You are too far removed from the Most High. You are too wicked. You don't have a sacrifice. You're satanic as hell the damn life you've lived. What makes you think you're going to come before the Most High and speak to him directly? You can't. But you have an attorney, the Johnny Cochran in the sky, so to speak, okay, who's going to be able to go to the judge and get you off on this murder if you do right. You see what I'm saying?
You got to turn away and never come back. You got to leave it alone.
Got to leave it alone. So with that, we give all praise and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua and say shalom. Shalom.